This is a production of SDPB.
Touchdown! This is for a state championship. Oh, drug kick, and it's good.
There's going to be some highlights coming off of this.
The short-range jumper.
Edging out in lane 4, the top seed.
This South Dakota High School State Championship event is conducted under the direction of the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
Good evening and welcome back inside First Bank and Trust Arena on the campus of South Dakota State University. I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Lisa Bahi as we get ready for session number 2 of day number 1, quarterfinal round action of the 2026 Class B Girls Basketball State Tournament. Lisa, if tonight's session even pales in comparison to this afternoon or comes even close, what a night we got ahead of us. Tonight's session, if it is as good as this afternoon, it's going to be a dandy. We're working on headphones. There we go. How about that?
I guess
you got me now?
Yeah. I didn't turn it down, though.
We're live and rocking already. Somebody came and bumped herself. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's look at this morning, or this afternoon, rather. Lyman defeated Corsica Stickney, or rather Corsica Stickney defeated Lyman. Our 8 over our 1 to open up the day, 65-56. And then Ethan, our 4 seed in the tournament, defeated Coleman Egan 51-42. So those teams will advance to tomorrow's rounds. Parkston and Centerville getting ready to do battle here in our opening matchup tonight. And then the nightcap, your defending state champion Bennett County Lady Warriors taking on the Ranchers of Harding County. We'll get to that one a little bit later on. Let's jump right into Centerville. The Tornadoes 21-2, the number 7 seed in this state tournament. They hail out of Turner County. Tucker Tornberg, the head coach, he's done a great job. He went through some years where they barely even had a program down there, turned it around, and they have been fantastic. Purple and gold, Minnesota Rouser is the school song. Of course, they are the state champions 2 years ago. Got upset last year and then ended up in that 3rd and 4th place matchup. As you take a look at how they got here, beat Trip Delmont Armor by 12, beat Gayville Vollen by 10, and then defeated Highmore Herald in that Sodak 16, 57-41. They will start this way. 5'8" senior forward Tessa Eide wearing number 0. Lydia Austin, a 5'5" junior guard, and she will get after you defensively, be all over the place here on this floor. And then, of course, Bree Austin, the 5'5" junior, will play guard. Peyton Hansen, kind of a guard forward position, 5'7", and a freshman. And their leading scorer, 20 points a ball game, Izzy Eide, 5'9", sophomore guard, kind of the go-to, if you will, for this Centerville team. She had some big shots last year in different games in that state tournament. Their opponent, the Trojans of Parkston, 20-3. So this is one of our 3 games where the lower seed actually has a better record than the higher seed in this tournament.
Right. You look at that based upon the seeding formula. All 8 of these teams are within 2 points.
I know, it's crazy. And they played such good schedules. Cole Knipling, the head coach, 85 kids, the enrollment. And then, they hail out of Hutchinson County here in South Dakota. Take a quick look. The golden whistles on this one. Alcester Hudson, 65-31. Freeman, 58-48 in those region contests. And then a battle with DeSmit. It was a 2-point game with under 40 seconds to go. DeSmit went out, tried to put some pressure on, got called for a foul, which Coach Pitt said, we fouled her. We didn't want to, but we did. And they went on and made 2 more free throws. DeSmit turned it over or missed a shot, and it was over. So had chances. I just talked to him a little while ago. Alexis Holzbauer, the 5'6" junior, will be 1 guard, wearing number 13. Lexi Schoenfelder, a 5'9" senior, playing forward. Berkeley Zybart, one of the top players in all of Class B, 5'6" and a junior. Kiara Oakley, the 5'9" junior, will play forward. And then Morgan Maxwell, another guard, 5'6" and a junior. We'll have some insight on some of those players as we go. Should be a dandy the way these 2 match up on paper, Lisa.
Yeah, really looking forward to this basketball game. This afternoon had some great basketball games. Continue to do that again tonight.
The 2 versus the 7 coming up. Let's turn it over to Al Bahi, our public address announcer.
Good evening, basketball fans. Welcome to Brookings and to First Bank and Trust Arena. The South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard, welcome you to this quarterfinal round of the State Girls Class B High School Basketball Tournament. Our first contest in the quarterfinals tonight will feature the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Tornadoes from Centerville High School, tipping it off against the home team on the scoreboard, the Trojans of Parkston High School. This tournament is being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and benefit of our high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs, and we hope you will enjoy the games and support your athletes in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. At this time, will you please stand and help us honor America? Tonight's national anthem will be performed by the Lake Preston Pep Band under the direction of Kayla Vokratt. We remind all in attendance that proper respect is to face the flag, remove your hat or cap, and stand at attention with your right hand over your heart. Veterans and active duty military not in uniform may salute the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Before we get to tonight's teams, let's meet the junior officials for tonight's contest. The junior officials are sponsored by 605 Custom Design, Zip Trip C-Stores, Cubby's Sports Bar and Grill, and Swiftel Communications. Our junior official from Centerville is Troy Hybertson. And our junior official from Parkston is May Shepherdson. And now let's meet the cheer team for the Parkston Trojans. Cheer coach is Kyla Confirst. Cheerleaders are Lexus Fleschner, Zoe Jolie, Riley Heinrich, Haley Weiss. Now it's time to meet the starting lineups for tonight's quarterfinal matchup. We will introduce players in alternating fashion. Starting at a forward for the Centerville Tornadoes, a 5'8" senior, number 0, Tessa Heidi. Starting at guard for Parkston, a 5'6" junior, number 10, Alexis Holzbauer. At a guard for Centerville, a 5'5" junior, number 1, Lydia Austin. At a forward for Parkston, a 5'9" senior, number 13, Lexi Schoenfelder. At wing for Centerville, a 5'7" freshman, number 3, Peyton Hansen. At a guard for Parkston, a 5'6" junior, number 14, Berkeley Zebark. At a guard for Centerville, a 5'5" junior, number 5, Bria Austin. At forward for Parkston, a 5'9" junior, number 20, Kiara Oakley. At guard for Centerville, a 5'9" sophomore, number 21, Izzy Heidi. At guard for Parkston, a 5'6" junior, number 22, Morgan Maxwell. Assistant coaches for Centerville are Jamie Edberg, Hayden Heyer, and Brady Childress. Assistant coaches for Parkston are Joe Shepherdson and Mike Maxwell. Head coach of the Centerville Tornadoes, Tucker Tornberg. Head coach for the Parkston Trojans, Cole Knipling. Tonight's lineups are brought to you by Channel C. All right, Tornado fans, are you ready? Trojan fans, are you ready? Let's crank it up. Tonight's fan section is brought to you by the University of South Dakota.
And we are underway as Oakley and Heidi in the center jump circle tip it up. Centerville will control. Top of the key now. Peyton Hansen. Get it to Izzy Heidi. Heidi on down the right side. Kick out. Austin. Lydia up top. Tessa Heidi. Short off the front iron. Rebound taken out of there by number 10, Alexis Holzbauer. Parkston will control with Maxwell. Man-to-man defense by both of these teams to get it started. Oh, just about to travel there. Almost looked like she was going to walk right and keep going. Left wing down through the baseline and a travel first. Parkston looks just a little out of sorts offensively, a little sluggish, trying to decide where they want to get going with the basketball.
Trying to work out those pregame or early game jitters.
Yeah, you got to get up and down and run a little bit, get a couple shots up, and then be ready to play. Heidi for 3. Heidi's been on the big stage before. This doesn't faze her one bit. She's not afraid to let it fly. Has that one taken away. She tried to bounce past that into Tessa Heidi. Off and running. Oakley down the lane, left side, left hand off the glass, too strong. Gets her own rebound up, too short. Battle for the rebound, ripped out of there, and then tied up, and a ball will go to Parkston on the held ball. The alternating possession arrow. Great job by Oakley to go get that first missed shot. And then the second one, she just really couldn't get off the floor. Everybody stood there with their hands on the ball. No one jumped.
Well, you didn't dare bring it down because there were 4 Centerville Tornadoes right around her.
Yeah, there was a lot of bodies in the paint. Oakley has it taken away. No, tipped up and then saved. No possession by Centerville. Shot clock continue to go. And a takeover this time, or a turnover rather, taken away by Centerville. Pushed ahead by Austin, and she'll lose the handle. No, has it hit out of bounds. On the call tonight in her very first state tournament. Congratulations right in front of us, Gayla Blackburn. Or Blackhorn, rather, excuse me. Congratulations to Gayla doing her first state tournament. Heidi. Izzy Heidi for 3 to open up the scoring. 3-0 Tornadoes. And Heidi is just not afraid to let it fly. She hit some big ones against us last year in that opening round. The biggest one, a fadeaway in the corner, if you remember that, on the baseline late in the game. It was an unbelievable shot for a freshman.
Yeah, it's just amazing how that experience, she seems a little more relaxed out here, developed into a leader.
Yeah, you know, they had the Marshall girl and Althea Gust. I mean, those were 2 ginormous stars on that team, and she just did what she does. A fearless freshman. Now she's a silly sophomore that's not afraid to shoot it, right? Shot up, no good. Battle for, taken out by the Tornadoes. Inside, Heidi, turnaround, no good. Tipped around, saved, last touch by Parkston, out of bounds. I was talking with Coach Shepherdson, the assistant coach for Parkston earlier, and just said, you know, it sounds like you guys have been maybe struggled a little bit the last couple weeks. He said, defensively, we've been very good. He said, it's kept us in every game. He said, we're not winning games 60-50, we're winning games 40-35. And he said, thankfully, we play defense because we just haven't been able to find the rim.
Right, you know, this would be a good time for that to come back. And I visited with him a little bit too, having that Mitchell connection. And he talked a little bit about how DeSmith's not really a 15 seed either, so that was a lot closer game.
Yeah, they've got one of the best players in the state in Luthmers. She's fantastic. Hazel Luthmer's fantastic. So he said they had a tough time controlling her. That foul was whistled on Schoenfelder. Lexi Schoenfelder picks up her first. That young lady blew out her ACL first game of the year last year. Gets to play in a state tournament, though, this year as a senior. Fought her way all the way back. So congratulations to her. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, those are tough to battle back from, and then to have to come back on before your senior year after not playing as a junior.
Step through, up and in, Peyton Hansen. 5-0 Centerville, the 7th seed, pitching the shutout here through the first 4.5. On the way, no good, tipped around, out of bounds. And we're gonna go to the media timeout. The golden whistle, Mike Ruth, all about it. He's ready to go, and we'll take a break. With that, we'll return in 60. You're watching Girls High School State Basketball Tournament action on SDPB.
You kept us fed through tough times. And despite rising business costs, you keep doing what you love because you know you're making a difference. No matter the challenges, we're here to help you navigate the highs and lows to grow your business, to improve your land, or to buy new equipment. We all rely on you, and we're just happy to return the favor. Go with Allies. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank.
From First Bank and Trust Arena on the campus of South Dakota State University, I'm Brad here alongside Lisa Mahi. It is high school basketball action. Class B girls here in Brookings this weekend. This beautiful facility playing host. As we are back in action and a push in the back. Foul called on number 34. Karis Tapio, rather. Big save. Peyton Hansen gives up to Izzy Heidi. Heidi out there being guarded by Morgan Maxwell. A lot of stuff being initiated out here on the Jackrabbit logo, a long ways from the hoop. That's a credit to Parkston's defense.
Right, and here we're looking at shot clock and then turnover. But getting that shot clock, really making them work a lot of the clock.
And what we talked with Coach Shepherdson about earlier is coming true right now. Their offense is struggling a little bit, but man, they are defending.
Yeah,
3:54 to play.
And that's the one thing you can always do. You have, complete control over that. You can bring that effort out every single day.
Good backdoor cut. Go to the high post. Zebart cuts back door. First basket of the game for the Trojans. Berkeley averages 16 points a game. Second team All-Stater a year ago. She leads this team in scoring. And a foul on the floor. Going to be called, I believe, on number 21, Kennedy Knipling. Yes, that's the 5'9" freshman daughter of head coach Cole Knipling. Lob goes in. Clarkson had that all scouted up. Had a foul called on number 43, Ashland Hagena. Our first personal. Knipling will play the point, lose the handle against Eide, get it back. Three on the way, Ziebart no good. Rebound taken out of there by the Tornadoes. Here comes Austin off and running. Down inside, Tessa Eide is blocked. Oakley will push. Have it tipped away from behind. Centerville relentless. And then she'll throw it away. That was Lydia Austin gonna pick it up and throw it, and had it tipped a little bit, lost the handle. Frantic pace right now. There was contact, but there was no movement. That was just all the offense.
Initiating the contact.
For sure. Nice move inside. Ziebart will step around. Up and good for Berkeley. She's got 4, it's 5-4.
You know, sometimes that slow step through can be really productive. I feel like both teams are just maybe the motors are going a little too fast.
9 times out of 10, everybody wants to step through so fast. They either travel or turn it over. Like you said, slow it down a little, be relaxed. Last touch by the Tornadoes. Tessa Eide knocking that out of bounds. Subs coming in. Back in number 3, Peyton Hansen, and number 15, Ella Reuter. Knipling to the baseline on the right side, swinging back up. Oof, almost a moving screen. Had the ball been coming that way, she might have got that. Foul call on the other side, though. I was watching the screen way out high here. Knipling almost leaned out there with the knee. Foul gonna be called on number 3, Peyton Hansen, her first personal. That'll put Kiara Oakley at the free throw line. She's gonna get 2 free ones. First one is good. Oakley 15.5 points, 8.5 rebounds per game for the Trojans. It's like a hockey game right now.
It is. We're making quite a few substitutions, keeping bodies fresh, trying to find right combinations.
Quite the opposite of our last game.
I say both these teams, I think, play a few more bodies also.
We end up seeing 1 sub in that last game with Ethan and Coleman Egan. Knocked out of bounds by Centerville. One more sub coming in. Back in is Lydia Austin. Definitely going to see more subs early, I think, in this one too. Both coaches, seasoned veterans, they know, give them a break early, let them get their breath quick. Now you can go a little longer that second time.
Well, and sometimes you take that break, you come out, you can get a drink, catch your breath, and come out, you're a little more relaxed after getting those first few minutes out of the way.
Foul going to be called on Eide, I think. Izzy will pick up her first personal. Second team foul, check that, 3rd team foul. Both teams with 3 fouls. Most likely not going to get into the bonus here in this first quarter unless something crazy happens in the next couple possessions. Oakley, Ziebart up top, swing it. Left wing 3 on the way, too strong, no good for Maxwell. Now come the Tornadoes with it.
Tornadoes really need a big possession here. They've had 4 turnovers, scoring drought of 3, almost pushing 4 minutes right now.
in traffic. Good defense. Oakley straight up and down, as was Knipling. Spin move, left side. Ziebart with the right hand, up and good. Berkeley's got 6.
She made that look pretty easy.
7-5 our score. Just about a quick takeaway there by Ziebart. Almost got Bria Austin sleeping as she looked to head coach Tucker Tornberg for instruction. Down to 12 on the clock now. Heidi will let her fly. It's blocked. And then up and good on the putback.
Good awareness by Austin on that.
And we'll go to the break. 7-7 our score. After 1 quarter of play, we're back in a moment on SDPB Sports.
Our Peterson Farm seed reps, real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm seed reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Back inside First Bank and Trust Arena, you see that last little sequence there. The blocked shot, ball lands, saved, and then up and in by Tessa Heidi. So Lydia Austin with a great save to keep it alive. Coach Knipling was looking at Alexis Holzbauer, and she thought she had no idea where it went. She was turning to run out already, like it was going out or something, but one of those weird plays.
And Centerville needed that. They kind of finished their 3-minute drought.
3 on the way. Good for Lydia Austin. 3 players scored in that first quarter for Centerville, just 2 for Parkston. Ziebart had 6, Oakley had 1. 3 people with, but 2 with 2. Heidi and Hansen each had a basket, and Izzy Heidi rather had a 3-point basket. Holzbauer up top 3, knuckleball, no good. Tipped around, controlled, and taken out of there by Tessa Heidi. So another low-scoring game here in our first one tonight. The anomaly being that first game where everybody was throwing it up and it was going in.
Yeah, both teams only shooting about, Centerville's at 30%, Parkston's about 25%.
3 on the way, too strong for Oakley. Battle for the rebound. Oakley comes away with it. She's going to attack, reverse, up off the glass, and good. Kiara Oakley with her first field goal of the game. She's got 3 points. Back the other way quickly, Austin, or rather Heidi off the glass, no good, gets her own rebound. Flips it to the right side. Now back out to Heidi, swing it around. 3 on the way, top of the key, no good for Bria Austin. Finally controlled by Parkston. Last touch, Parkston. Ziebart has it go off her hands and maybe off her foot out of bounds. Back in the game for Parkston will be Kennedy Knipling and Karis Tapio. And a full timeout to Parkston. Coach Knipling's had enough. He wants to talk things over, straighten something out. Saw something he didn't like, or maybe just save some legs, get your breath back here to start the second quarter.
Yeah, and just maybe talk about possessions and style of play right now. Both teams still a little bit ragged, running up and down, not maybe getting the shots that they're really looking for.
Well, and again, another coach, these coaches that have been here before, you get the extra timeout each quarter with the media timeout. So he takes one now with 6 minutes, knowing that probably another 90 seconds to 2 minutes, you're going to get another one. And all of a sudden, you can do some different things. So it's kind of neat to watch how coaches kind of play that out. I actually had a couple coaches text me during the week in preparation for this and say, now remind me, when does the media timeout come and all that? And so I explained what it was. Okay, just we want to know, making sure, because they're probably figuring out what their sub pattern is going to be like. You play less people when you get that extra timeout.
Well, and just in the back of your mind, if you know that timeout's coming, you don't necessarily want to burn one either.
Right.
And have it converted.
And you hope that oops, I'm sorry. You hope that happens so you don't kill yourself on that either. Like in the last minute, let something run out on you that you really didn't want to happen.
Right.
Definitely don't want to overthink it too much. Kind of play it like normal and just hope that it works out when you get the extra one.
Well, and sometimes you just gotta let the kids figure it out.
Yeah. Short for Izzy Eide in the lane. Left wing, Oakley short, no good. Rebound, Eide. She'll look to push. Coach Tornberg just on his team. Go, go. He's waving his hands down there. He wants to run Parkston out of this one. Offensive rebound, Austin in the lane, left hand, no good. Tapped around, Austin last to touch, out of bounds. It'll be Parkston basketball. Coach Knipling, he's letting his freshman daughter know you need to box out on that possession.
I think both coaches just find a way to get their teams fired up. Kind of a slow, not necessarily a slow pace, but just kind of a slow moving production-wise.
It's always a fun dynamic to watch a dad coach his daughter and see how that reaction goes. Oh, hold on the inside. That was a good move by Oakley. Patience again, like you talked about earlier. Just let things develop a little and then make your move. Austin going to be picked up with the first personal.
Some of that comes from having some of the experience, being a junior, a little bit more patient, where your younger teammates out there might not have that patience.
Parkston's second year back in Class B. Of course, they were Class A 2 years ago. In the paint, kick that one out. Oakley on the move, good defense. Oh, Mike Ruth was going to punch it out this way. Turned and went the other direction. Media timeout already. It is. Good work. Media timeout. Goward, get off my back over here. You should go sit at the other side. We're back in 60 seconds on SDPB Sports.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
Ready for action out of the immediate timeout here in our second quarter. 4:48 to play. It's a good thing Brad Gower's down here to keep me straight here. I must be colorblind. My greens and my reds are a mess tonight. Zebart on the right side. Good back door, just missed that. Oakley had a chance, but let it go. Shot clock continues to roll down to 5. 4, Knipling gonna swing it. Gonna have to hurry in the lane. No, didn't get it off. Shot clock violation. Waited a long time. They didn't start that action till what? About the kind of that zoom action at about 5 on the clock.
Right. Don't think that's quite what Coach wanted. kind of give them a little redirection there after the turnover on the shot clock violation.
Well, that's a tough one. You take the media timeout, you come out, and you got a short shot clock. And
right.
You really got to be aware of that. Sometimes you just forget about it. All of a sudden you're into a set that requires more than the 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Peyton Hansen, swing it left side. That'll be Austin now. To Eide, Izzy Eide on the right side. Oh, cups it. Tries the finger roll, no good.
I think Tessa Eide just kind of maybe a little surprised how open she was on the rebound and just rushed that shot.
Yeah, didn't draw iron on the shot from Izzy Eide, and then it just fell in her hands. Oakley, the turnaround, can't get it to go. Frustration on the face of Kiara Oakley. Eide for three in the corner, no. Kicked around on the run, Oakley on the rebound. Got a chaser behind her, good pass to Knipling on the run, up off the glass and good. What a great bounce pass through traffic.
That ends a 3-minute scoring drought for Parkston.
Cross the lane and unable to handle, no, they chase it down. But then saved by Parkston. The Trojans will come set. Oakley turnaround up, no good again. Look out, we got a held ball. It's gonna stay Parkston possession. Back in for Parkston, Holzbauer, Schoenfelder, and Graceland Straight, a 5'5" freshman, makes her debut in the tournament. 11-10 our score. Ziebart and Oakley don't come out much. The other three are going to rotate quite a bit. Oakley out high. Hand off Ziebart, tied up. She rips it away. Oakley jumper off the glass, short, no good. Rebound Izzy Eide. Here comes Centerville. Back to Eide. Left side, spin move to the lane, travel.
Centerville hasn't scored in 5 minutes.
Wow.
They've last on their shooting 0 of 8 for Centerville. 3
and
turnovers
they've
also
had
during
some
that
good
time.
looks too. Wide open three that is, you know, it's a 50-50 ball, but
yeah, only shooting 19% right now.
yeah, hence the score 11-10.
Yep. I mean, Parkston's shooting 25%, so no one's really lighting it up.
2 minutes to play in our opening half. Holzbauer, knuckleball, no good. Battle for, look out, we're gonna have a foul called. That foul gonna be called, I believe, on number 13, Lexi Schoenfelder. It is, Schoenfelder will pick up her second personal. Line change again for Centerville. You're a hockey mom. There's a lot of similarity in basketball and hockey, quite honestly, though. When you talk about transition and things that happen, there is a lot of similarity.
There is, and I've learned more about hockey as it's gone along. But to your passing angles, a lot of that stuff, just you're hitting it with a stick instead of trying to make the pass.
Yeah, while you're doing it on skates on a half-inch blade, too, instead of your feet. But gonna have a foul called. Every girl on the floor for Centerville was slapping their arm like there was a foul. Everybody in the stands for Parkston was disagreeing that there was a foul. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. At the free throw line. No good for Lydia Austin.
Lydia's about a 65% free throw shooter.
If you're a stat person, that means this one's going in.
In theory, yes.
Got
You're
it.
right.
Off the glass and good. Work Berkeley Ziebart, first basket of the second quarter. She's got 8 points. No good from the left baseline for Bria Austin. 1 minute to play. Holzbauer no good, up and good. Ziebart on the spot. Berkeley, double digits. She's got 10 of Parkston's 15. Foul from behind. Hold going to be called on number 22, Morgan Maxwell. That'll be her first personal.
You see Maxwell with that knee sleeve, tore her ACL as a freshman, and then had surgery this fall on compartment syndrome. So seeing her on the court, that she's a tough-nosed kid. Coach talked about her, just her toughness and her grit and being able to get back to play.
Heidi with the handles out top. Step through Heidi, blocking foul going to be called. Heidi will go to the free throw line. She's going to get 2 as the foul is called on number 10, Alexis Holzbauer. Her first personal.
Now Centerville's getting some shots from the free throw line because they have had no field goals the last 7 minutes. So almost this whole period.
Yeah, they've scored just 4 points this quarter. That was a 3 by Lydia Austin and a free throw by Lydia. That's the Heidi, second chance at the free throw line. Too strong. That's going to be a push from behind on number 43, Ashlyn.
Just Centerville's second foul.
.20 seconds to play in the half. 15-11 our score. A tough offensive goal for both teams here in the first half. Foul called on number 5, Bria Austin, her second personal. Third team foul of the quarter. Izzy Heidi back in. 12.9 seconds to play. Parkson will trigger. Holzbauer thought about the 3. Steps through. Not a kick unless it's intentional. That was just kind of throwing off her foot.
That's a tough pass to make with on an out-of-bounds play with everybody in the lane, trying to bounce that through the lane.
Yeah, never really got everybody chasing out at the three-point line. And stayed pretty clogged up. There's a good backdoor. Ziebart up and good.
Great job of getting that shot off.
From half court, Heidi, no good. And we'll go to halftime. Parkston, 17. Centerville, 11. We'll take a break. Back in a couple minutes. Talk things over on SDPB Sports.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
And we're back at halftime from First Bank and Trust Arena in Brookings on the campus of South Dakota State University. Class B girls state basketball tournament action. 17-11 Parkston over Centerville. And the stats show it, Lisa, there was just a couple of real big droughts offensively for both of these teams.
Right, both these teams just not shooting very well. You know, you look at Parkston with the lead, but only shooting 32%, 0 of 7 from the three-point line, but 16 points in the paint, so they've been able to shorten that up a little bit, try to get into the basket off some drives, some great passing like you just saw right there, trying to push the ball a little bit more. Centerville only shooting 17%, just can't seem to get it in, whether it's underneath the hoop, whether it's from the perimeter. They just really struggled scoring.
Yeah, just 4 of 23, 2 of 12 from behind the arc, 1 of 4 at the free throw line. So it's kind of all over. It isn't one spot on the floor or another. It's just everywhere right now. And again, that's credit to some of the defense that both teams, I don't know that their on-ball defense is what we've seen in a couple of the games prior, but their help side defense really comes over and it makes it tough just when somebody thinks they're by somebody.
Right, you know, you step in, you kind of hedge and don't let them get into the paint. They can't really get anything. And so hence having to take more perimeter shots, and when the perimeter shots aren't falling, you want to try to get in the paint and get some layups, but they don't have, you know, they just don't have those inside 4 points in the paint is all they have.
Again, 17-11. After we come back in a little bit, we're going to award our band of the day as well. The Lake Preston High School Band has been here all day today, entertaining the fans as well as providing us with the national anthem 2 different times. So look forward to seeing them get the plaque. You were talking about some of the stats individually. Berkeley Ziebart, I guess the one exception to the rule of things not going well. She's 6 of 9 from the field, has 12 points to lead everybody. And obviously she's got more points than Centerville does alone. So she's been able to find areas to get open in the paint, take a couple quick short jumpers as well.
Right, you know, and she's been benefit of a few backdoor cuts, getting her the basketball. I've been able to drive a couple times and create something for herself.
This a 6-point lead. Centerville actually enjoyed the largest lead of the game. They led by 7, if you remember that back in the first period at the 4:52 mark. And then again, Parkston here as they lead by 6 at halftime. Take a break, just a couple minutes away from getting ready to award that band of the day. And we'll get you set and ready for this second half of action. It is session number 2 underway here in Brookings at South Dakota State University and First Bank and Trust Arena on SDPB Sports.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. AgTegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. AgTegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
For your little ones and your biggest joys, or your forever friends and your fur kids too. For your better half or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
Welcome back. Halftime festivities continue. We're just awaiting Christina Sage to head upstairs, and they're going to give away or give out the plaque for our band of the day, as we've got just about 3 minutes left here in our halftime festivities. So we'll wait until Christina gets upstairs, and then we'll turn it over to Al Bahi here, the public address announcer, and get ready to hand out that Band of the Day award. And she is up there now, so we'll draw our attention up there. Al Bahi, take it over.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please direct your attention to the northwest upper level of the First Bank and Trust Arena, where Christina Sage of the South Dakota High School Activities Association is recognizing our Band of the Day, the Lake Preston High School Pep Band. Christina is presenting a plaque to Director Kayla Vokraт to commemorate the day. Lake Preston High School Band, thanks for bringing the energy to First Bank and Trust Arena for the tournament.
All right, thank you, Al. We appreciate that. Thank you, Christina, and thank you to the Lake Preston High School Band for entertaining us throughout the day here today. A lot of work for them. I mean, you think, well, they play music anyway, right? They show up. But you learn all 18 school songs. Now, I know this little inside information. 4 of the teams here this weekend have the same school song.
Well,
so
helps.
that cut down a little prep time. But yeah, you learn a lot of different songs. They don't want to play the same songs over and over. So I think our band director, Mr. Troyan, I think he was telling me they put in about 40 new songs just to start working on when they found out. And they've narrowed it down, obviously, to the whatever number they're going to play here on Saturday. So a lot of work for those folks to go through all of that.
It is, and they do a great job of mixing in some of the oldies, but playing some of the newer songs. Every once in a while, you'll catch a tune and they're like, oh, I've heard that on the radio just recently.
Yep. And they also obviously have to be probably prepping for some of their local high school spring concerts. So they're mixing that in there with that as well. But again, it takes a lot of time, and we appreciate all the efforts of our band directors and, of course, all those band members that show up to provide a little entertainment for everybody here at the state tournament. Under a minute here in halftime, and we'll get ready to go. Your thoughts coming out here second half. What do these teams need to look to do to kind of break the seal, if you will, and get themselves going a little bit?
Well, I think they need to try to find some ways to get some easy buckets. You know, each team knows kind of their offense, that they, whether they're slashing to the basket or driving to the basket, need to try to, you know, get the lid off the rim a little, the rim for them, and get to the basket and try to score a little bit. You know, defensively though, both of these teams allowed only about 30-some points in a game, so we, you know, anticipate a lower scoring game because they're both pretty defensive driven.
As we see what has been talked about, I should say, at halftime by the two coaches. What are they going to come up with? Adjustments and try to figure out. We'll see what they decide to do as we get ready here. Parkston again and Centerville. The Trojans, the number 2 seed. We've already had one big upset today with Corsica Stickney beating Lyman, of course, in our opening round, with the 8 beating the 1. Not the first time it's happened. If you go back a few years to the Huron Arena, the first state title that Viborg Hurley won in that little run with Molly Mason at head coach, they were the 8th seed, came out, won that opening round game, then went on to win the tournament. So, you know, Corsica Stickney got a little hope, I guess, if you're looking back, if you're a historian of sorts.
Yeah, and you know, none of these teams, I think there's 19 total losses between all 8 teams. So the teams coming in, just good quality teams. The Sodak 16 that we talked about earlier has just been so good to make sure these games are very competitive.
As we get back to action, Centerville will start it. Izzy Eide, a little fadeaway on the baseline. That's one way to get going, too. Get it to your leading scorer.
And Centerville needed that with that long scoring drought. They didn't make a field goal the last 7 minutes of that second quarter.
Parkston now. Zebart down the lane, right side off the glass, up and good, and a body foul.
2 shots, 2 baskets.
It's a good start, comparatively speaking, to the first half, huh?
Yeah.
Berkeley at the free throw line, yet to shoot one here today. And makes her first and her only trip there. On the year, she's a 73% free throw shooter. So if you're Parkston, you like having her at the free throw line. There's going to be a push or body foul. Foul going to be called on number 13, Lexi Schoenfelder, her 3rd personal here already.
Yeah, it's probably a little frustrating one for her because it's not what she intended. It wasn't anything, but just kind of was in the wrong place at the wrong time, bumped into her and knocked her down.
Yeah, that's frustrating when you know you've got 2. You got to stay away from that, and that happens. Good drive for Heidi. Really put the pressure on the defense that time to have to move their feet. Foul called on Morgan Maxwell. That'll be her 2nd personal. Coach Knipling telling his team, get to the gap earlier, cut that drive off, just a little late on the step. And you give Izzy Heidi a half step, she's going to be at the basket before you can get there most times.
Yeah, just a sophomore. You know, it's a lot of basketball left in her future. She's had some offers, I think. Probably see how it goes over the next few years and if she gets some other offers that roll in.
Yeah, I know Coach Tornberg's talked about her. I've known Coach Tornberg for quite a few years, and he said she's just one of those gym rats. You know, she's just always around the gym and always wants to get in and shoot and comes early, stays late type kid.
Well, and it shows. You know, she's a sophomore. She scored almost 1,200 points already in her career for Centerville.
Oakley powers one up with the left hand and good. That's got to be a sigh of relief for that young lady. She had some point blank shots that she could just not get to go down in that first half. Baseline 3, too strong. Rebound, Oakley. Kiara will push ahead. Zebart crossover to the middle now. Kick out. Holzbauer 3 on the way, no good. Offensive rebound. Oakley with the bucket. She's got 7 in the game. Heidi tries to run off of a screen up top. Great show by Oakley. Down the lane with the left hand and good for Izzy Heidi.
And she wasn't going to do anything but drive down the lane on that one.
I don't know if that was part of what they decided to do, put the ball in her hands and just let her go a little bit, but she definitely decided that's what she's going to do.
You know, it's still a great defensive effort by Parkston. Pressured her down the lane in between her and the basket, but just a great job of scoring on her part.
Yeah, sometimes the offense wins even though you play great defense, and especially when you've got a really good player with the basketball in their hands. Good hesitation dribble. Too strong. A foul going to be whistled against Peyton Hansen. Hansen going to pick up her 2nd. I believe that'll go on number 3, and it does. To the free throw line goes Morgan Maxwell. Morgan with her first chance at the free throw line. First one up, too strong. Second one is good. Just under 6 minutes to play in our 3rd quarter. Good backdoor cut.
Nice backdoor cut, great feed, being able to see that. Kind of the action away from the basketball was important in that one.
Yeah, good catch by Hansen and the finish underneath. Knipling now, bring it back out top. Looking for the back door, can't get it. They'll just go to Oakley up top. Travel.
Yeah, just kind of drug that back foot, lost her balance a little bit.
Yeah, Coach Knipling wanted maybe a little contact called there, but I don't know if it was enough to warrant a foul. It did stop the defender, the offensive player from going anywhere, but really didn't move her anywhere.
I felt the contact was kind of after the travel.
Eide spin move to the left hand again off the glass, got it. Izzy Eide has put the Tornadoes on her back. 7 in the quarter. It's 25-20 Parkston. Knipling. Leave it Oakley down the lane in traffic. Too strong. Rebound. Last touch by Parkston. They're going to talk it over. And while they do, we'll get Mr. Ruth attention here in a minute. It was, and now we'll go to the media timeout. So it will be Parkston basketball after the conference. When we return, we'll get back to it on SDPB Sports.
You're committed to building relationships, to exceeding expectations, to serving your community. Your financial partner should share your vision and your values. For 130 years, we've stood by South Dakotans. We've been there, we'll be there. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West, member FDIC.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
And we're back in First Bank and Trust Arena, ready for action. As Mike Ruth and Cole Knipling have a little conversation over here with a lot of smiles. We're good to go.
Yeah, you talk about the first 3 minutes of this game, a lot different than the whole first half. Centerville shooting 80% on 4 or 5, and Parkston's up to 60%. And contrast that, Centerville was only 17% for that first half.
Well, and you talked about how to maybe break the seal, if you will. Centerville's attacked the basket. Everything's been a layup. It isn't, or a short jumper. It hasn't been standing at 20 feet hoping it goes in.
Right, they're really looking to attack. Both teams actually been really looking to attack, and then also trying to get to the free throw line, get some free points. Although they're never really free.
No, it's never free. Off the glass, no good. Rebound taken out of there somehow by Maxwell. Zebart 3, 22-footer, got it! Berkeley with her first triple of the game. She's got 18. Centerville now with Eide, has it knocked out of her hands by Maxwell.
Yeah, not only is that the first triple for her, it's the first triple for Parkston.
Yeah, their first three-pointer of the game. Only 4 girls in the scoring column for Parkston.
And Centerville.
And same for Centerville. Yeah, they're both with 4 girls scoring. Off the bench, Parkston's leading that battle, though, with bench scoring 2-0. They got the one from Knipling.
Centerville really looking to use the high post to kind of set it on ball screen, trying to get down the center of the lane, and then either looking to go all the way or looking to kick it out and dish.
Yeah, with that group of guards he has, I like that. They'll come off that screen and get downhill. They're athletic and they're quick.
Yeah, you got to be on your A game defensively.
Yeah, and I think that's why you hear Coach Knipling in the background as Parkston attacks with Maxwell. No good rebound, Centerville. You hear him hollering at his team to get in the gap. He knows you got to be there with help because you're not going to go one-on-one with them off the dribble. They're just too quick.
You know, they're not setting on ball screens either where you can just switch it. They're sending that first cutter through the lane, trying to clear something out. Always try to tell kids the best time to drive down the lanes right after someone cut. Usually the defensive help side sometimes will go with that girl.
Unless they are super disciplined, they kind of let up to everybody kind of, okay, now, and then you got to get back and ready again. On the push, Oakley left side, up off the glass and good with the right hand. Kiara Oakley. And a timeout, Centerville. The Trojans have pushed it to a double-digit lead, 30-20, with 2:40 to play in our third quarter. There's a good look at Coach Knipling and his Parkston Trojans. Coaching staff visiting things over a little before they step in the huddle. Talk things over. Good crowd. You're mentioning that off air. Good crowd tonight. A little bigger than this afternoon, obviously, but kind of expect that, a night crowd. Plus, you get a lot of, Brookings is a basketball area. They come out and support, especially to this building, right?
Right.
So they come out and you're going to see a lot of local people. I look around, I see a lot of kids. I see a lot of adults from other towns in the area here just to watch basketball.
Right, and probably also thinking a little bit, you know, if we're going to get up there and watch some games, we might have to do it those first 2 days.
Yeah, I looked behind me earlier today, and I think there was about 16 or 17 of my 23 girls sitting right behind us. I see a few of them are back again tonight, about half of that, so good to see them here in attendance. And again, just a fun atmosphere. You know, the Sioux Falls area, those kids get to go watch a lot because the tournament's down there. You live in Huron, you go watch there. For girls, to have it in Brookings, there's a lot of basketball communities around Brookings,
right.
So fun for them to be able to just have a short drive to come over and watch some good basketball.
You know, you also get back to the talk about the game here. We had the half point timeout, and Parkston must have talked quite a bit about what Centerville was doing, because Centerville hasn't scored since that halfway point.
Yeah, they came out of that media timeout, and I think they kind of looked to maybe give a little extra help on Izzy Heidi.
Yeah, yep.
Step through a bully move. That was a good attempt by Tapio, as she just had to try to step her way through and be stronger than the defense. There you see the attack by Heidi. They'll wave it off. The foul comes before the shot. Not going to give them that continuation.
It was a great drive to the basket, though.
Foul called on Maxwell, her third. So Maxwell and Schoenfelder both with 3 fouls. Schoenfelder going to come back in along with Knipling. Out will come Tapio and Maxwell.
Both teams playing about 8 kids, rotating some people in and out, a few people not, you know, still getting some pretty significant minutes, though.
In the lane, step through. Centerville, or Parkston folks wanted to travel, but
tough shot.
I think that pivot foot stayed down. Izzy Heidi showing her vast array of shots. 1:34 to play in the third quarter. 30-22, Parkston by 8. Zebart now. Give it up to Holzbauer. She'll kick out. Knipling, 3, high arcing baseline shot, no good. Rebound. Zebart got it up off the glass and good. Boy, Berkeley has had herself a game. 20 of the 32 at the hands of number 14.
Yeah, and 6 rebounds to go with that.
Rebound taken out of there. Back up. Tessa Heidi should be fouled and get free throws. Mike Ruth reports it, says the foul is on number 21, Kennedy Knipling. So Kennedy now picks up her second personal. Looks like that will maybe bring back number 22, Morgan Maxwell, or that'll bring her back on offense. So you don't worry necessarily about that 4th foul for her because she's coming back on offense. A well-earned break for Zebart.
You know, and that's Maxwell's a really nice playmaker for Parkston. So maybe trying to come down, getting at least a pretty good look before heading back the other way with about a minute left in this game.
Yeah, you tell her no offensive fouls.
Yep.
Get us set, get us a bucket. Dead ball, you'll probably see her come back out on defense, quite honestly. And they're going to say she stepped out. That was physical along the sideline. There you'll see it. If you're wearing white, orange, and blue right now, that's a foul. If you're wearing purple, that's really good defense.
That's one of those.
She did kind of step away, and that's when she fell down. It always happens that you want that to be called for your team. I know which way I was arguing, depending on which bench I was on. Heidi with 23 on the shot clock. Off the rim, no good. Rebound. A new shot clock saved, but last touch by Centerville. We're going the other way. Parkston basketball shot clock is off, 33.2 seconds to play. I'm actually kind of amazed these two teams don't play each other. But, of course, you're in the second year of Parkston being in Class B.
Right.
Maybe when they were Class A, Centerville didn't have them on the schedule. Anymore, that doesn't make a whole lot of difference. These good Class B teams are playing Class A teams up and down, and vice versa. I know we had 10 Class A schools on our schedule this year, and it made us better by playing teams with more kids. And
it does. You know, you get that competition and playing different styles.
Under 10, spin move. Zebart falls, gets rid of it. 3 on the way, no good for Maxwell. Heidi gonna get a shot. They're gonna call the foul at half court. Oakley went up to try to distract and ends up making contact. She knew it, she didn't argue it one bit. It's just wrong place, wrong time again. That'll be her second foul. Heidi, and that, young people, as you're watching, is why you always try to get a shot.
You do.
I mean, when you're behind especially, you gotta let it fly.
You have nothing to lose.
No. Now you get 3 free ones, and you can turn the tide a little bit just with momentum if you make these. Heidi got the firsts. I got a young lady on my team that last year at state tournament, those two connected, and they are like doppelgangers. They look alike, they act alike, they figured out they are each other's long-lost twin. Just my girl's a year older, Peyton Troy, and her, they became really good friends. And another neat thing about state tournaments, it all happened in the hotel, meeting each other, walking the hallway, just great, great stuff.
Well, and you get to know your opponents on a whole different note.
Yep. Well, you go in, they're our first round opponent, and you're mad, and you're, let's go get the, and then after the game's over, you find out, oh, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're not so bad.
Yeah, that's fun. Let's take a break. 32-27. The gap has been cut in half by the Tornadoes. We are back in 60 seconds on SDPB Sports.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
Our Peterson Farm seed reps, real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm seed reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
From First Bank and Trust Arena, we enter the final 8 minutes of game number 3 here on the campus of South Dakota State. Class B Girls State Basketball Tournament action. Parkston with a 5-point lead over Centerville, 32-27, and just what we said, you get 3 free ones. Now you've cut the lead in half, and it looks like momentum's back on your side. Confidence comes back.
Yeah, it does, and you know, both those teams scored in that third period about what they scored in the first half. So both teams came out, had a plan, were able to get to the basket, get some hoops to fall, and you can just see the confidence starting to build.
Yeah, again, a sign of good teams. They didn't hang their heads after a rough first half, came right back out, did what they do, stayed with their game plan, and now we got a battle. Maxwell to the lane. There's a foul going to be called on number 5, Austin. Bria picks up her 4th personal. That could loom big later.
Yes.
So she will check out, go to the bench. Oakley, jump stop, kick out. Knipling, swing it to Maxwell. Maxwell back up to Oakley. Good ball movement against the man-to-man of Centerville. Find Maxwell open in the corner, steps through bodies. There was contact, but she drew that contact again, I think. Knipling with the 3. Kennedy Knipling
Also was able to get her own rebound on that, kick it out, which led to that three-point shot.
From the corner, three no good for Lydia Austin. Now a chance for Parkston to put it back to double-digit lead again. Maxwell to the lane. Kick out. Knipling, handoff. Oakley down the lane, left hand. No good. Gets her own rebound on a loose ball, misses. Centerville will run it down.
Couple good looks. She just didn't have real good angle to the basket on that first one.
No, and there was a little contact underneath. I don't think it was anything that warranted the foul. From my angle, I couldn't see there's bodies, but there was definitely contact. But at the same time, you got to handle that inside. They're going to let you play a little bit at the state tournament. It's not going to be as tightly called as it might have been in the Parkston Gymnasium back at the end of December. Heidi quickly the other way. Tried to float that one up and in. No touch. We're going to go the other way. Last touch by Centerville. Heidi. Oh, Heidi slow to get up.
Yeah, I think she took a shot to the face. Unintentional, but just part of the play.
We're going to talk it over. And then we're going to go the other way. I think. Yep, Parkston basketball. That was the original call. Coach Tornberg disagrees.
Well,
there's been a lot of those, though. There's just been a ton in this game.
Well, there's just a lot of body parts.
Yeah.
That down there, everyone's got a piece of the ball. It is a difficult call to make.
Again, we'll talk to the winning coach following this one. Knipling chases it down. They want a timeout, but they're going to say held ball first. Well, and again, I feel Coach Knipling's paying because you're calling for that, but the referee has to grant it. They have to hear you and or see it and grant it to you. And the trail official is not going to give that to you. They don't know who's got possession.
Right.
So again, you got to find the right person. It's just a long ways away. I feel his pain, but it's way easier to see it from here. Foul called against Zebart. Her first personal. Back in for Parkston, Alexis Holzbauer. Sideline out of bounds, just get it in now, reset the offense. Heidi has it tipped away, Maxwell loses it. Chase down, saved, and a foul going to be called because it was at the feet. They're going to call that every time when somebody goes down, whether you agree or disagree. Fourth foul on Morgan Maxwell. Yeah, when you go into the legs, that's just, as unfortunate as it is, it's going to be called.
Well, that's a case where coming down the court, trying to dribble the ball versus just picking it up.
Yep.
Pick it up, you've got possession of it.
And then by the time she could stop to pick it up, diving in comes the defender. And 35-27. Big possession here, I think, for Centerville, just to get a good look. This is a good look. Off the rim, no good. Rebound, Oakley again. She's got great hands, doesn't she? And then a foul going to be called on Tessa Heidi.
Intensity is definitely picked up.
Yeah.
You can see that on both ends.
On both sides, on the benches.
Yep.
I find myself doing what both of these coaches are doing once in a while. You get caught up and you start complaining about everything. Then your team starts playing like you're acting. Pretty soon one of these teams is going to go, stop. And all of a sudden it's going to change for them. Just missing the three-point play opportunity. Hansen will go back to the free throw line. Here you'll see Hansen step in. Oakley, little body contact. Yep, got the timeout before the ball was entered. 30-second timeout, so we're going to keep it right here. Coach Knipling taking that early one again, knowing he's going to get another one coming up.
Yeah, we got a couple players for Centerville, Austin and Maxwell for Parkston, both with 4 fouls. Schoenfelder has 3 for Parkston.
Yeah.
Both of those, all of those players are on the bench right now.
I was going to say Parkston is in a little bit worse off position there than Centerville, but.
And Oakley also has 3 for Parkston.
Yep. So probably a good timeout though too by Parkston. You're in the lead. You got an 8-point lead. It's been a little frantic. Everybody, the crowd's getting into it. They're upset about calls or non-calls, and then you kind of calm your team down. Time to just play the last 5 minutes now. We've done everything we can to try to beg for you and get you calls, and now you got to go out and earn everything you get.
Yeah, you've picked up some fouls. Parkston's had 3 turnovers the last 2 minutes, and they haven't scored in the last 2 minutes. So just kind of settle them down a little bit, check base, and finish out the 5 minutes.
Hansen makes her first free throw attempt of the day. Second one on the way. Pretty sweet looking free throw. Peyton averages 9.5 points a game. Got 2 seconds, plenty of time. That whistle was coming no matter what. 5:07 to play in the game. You just saw that one coming. Foul going to be called on Centerville.
I think that was a first on Austin, Lydia Austin. Got both Austins on the floor together right now. You might think you're seeing double.
Moles Bauer. Kick out, 3 on the way. No good for Tapia. On rebound Centerville, they'll run. You see the speed of Centerville right there. They got a decent little track team, and they showed it right there, just couldn't convert. Oakley the other way. Little contact, but not enough to warrant any type of call. Cross court, tipped away, good hustle getting back by Holtzbauer. That'll go to immediate timeout. We are under 5 to play, 4.5 minutes left. We'll take a break. We're back in 60 on SDPB Sports.
For over 55 years, Muth Electric has been powering progress across the Midwest. Our team of professionals deliver electrical solutions with innovation and safety at the core. We work with purpose, knowing that each project contributes to something bigger. Muth Electric, a partner in building a brighter future since 1970.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also power South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
And out of the immediate timeout with 4.5 minutes to play in this contest. It is Parkston 35, Centerville 29. I love the facial expressions of Cole Knipling. Dude, I don't know if you know Michael Black. He takes pictures out of Madison or Oldham, remote area. He posted, when we played at Madison, 25 pictures of me, like the expressions of me. I got nothing on that guy right now. I'm telling you, that guy is awesome. Austin, or rather, Heidi for 3. Izzy hits her first 3 of the second half. She opened up the game with a 3. Zebart the other way, no good. Rebound taken out by Tessa Heidi. Here comes Centerville. You talked about the track meet. They're off and running again. The gun goes, and they're at the other end. Well, missing the layup.
Parkston probably a little quick shot. You didn't have anyone back to rebound. Not that it was a bad shot, but you just didn't have any rebounders in place.
Yeah, that's when the coach kind of looks the other way. It's your leading scorer, and you're like, okay, good shot. Well, okay, maybe next time we don't shoot it quite so fast. Probably see him do one of these next time, but.
And Parkston is trying to look for something. They haven't scored in 3.5 minutes.
Right.
Had some turnovers, 0 of 5, so trying to make something happen.
And a lot of times you talk about it being fearless. Got a timeout. Before she threw it, the timeout was called. 30-second timeout. We're going to keep it here. 30 seconds. Mike Ruth, he might be having more fun than the players and the coaches right now.
I think so.
Centerville fans weren't happy about the timeout. They thought the ball was in the air. He's granting them the timeout, though, as he hears it and the ball's in the corner. You know what I mean? Like, we all react. He heard it. By the time he calls it, the ball's in the air. Now it looks like he made the wrong call.
Right.
I think he was right from the very beginning on that. I don't say that much about him, but I will say this time he was right. Yeah, we had the media. They're asking if we already took the media timeout because he wasn't sure if it turned to that or if he had any left. 2 timeouts remaining for Parkston. 4 timeouts left for Centerville. And that's what that was. Just going to say to that. I thought he granted her the timeout in the corner. Should have had it down there because it was below the 4 points that you take it out at now.
Right.
Parkston with the bucket on the other end. And
a much needed bucket by Parkston. Then
and a bigger stop.
Yep.
Zebart again, up and good. All of a sudden, Berkeley's got 24, and the defense amps up. 7-point lead for Parkston.
Yeah, 4 quick points coming out of that.
39-32. Little 1-4 set high. There's battle. Coach Tornberg wants a timeout. He thought they had possession. We have a held ball. Yeah, Coach Tornberg wanted that timeout, but referees are saying there's no possession. Both players are diving. I didn't see if we had a replay, but
yeah, I didn't see it on the replay either. But for us to see that, the bodies were in the way, so I couldn't tell if anyone had possession.
That was the kind of the reaction he gave them when Coach Tornberg was asking about it.
And as a coach, sometimes you just try.
Yeah, well, you do. You have to try. And you have to fight for your team, right? I mean, like you have to battle for them so they see you going to work for them. Too strong, or too short for Holzbauer, rather. Rebound, Berkeley. Zebart too strong. Battle for the rebound from behind, and a foul going to be called on Kiara Oakley. Kiara with her 3rd personal. Coach Tornberg going to take a timeout. I don't know if it's going to be a full or a 30. We'll find out. It's a 30, so we'll keep it here. 39-32. Parkston 17 of 50 on the game for 34% right now. Just 2 of 14 though, Lisa, from the 3-point line. But then on the other side, Centerville just 3 of 19. So again, 5 of 33 between the two teams shooting from the 3-point line. And it's just not been a great long distance shoot game, if you will.
Yeah, and Centerville at halftime, put it in perspective, had taken 12 3-point shots. Parkston 7, so for Centerville, a lot of those came early. A lot of just 7, and both teams just 7 this half.
10 of 40 from the field for Centerville. Free throw line, 9 of 13 for Centerville. Parkston has only gotten to the line for 5 free throws. They're 3 of 5, so. Again, it feels like it's been sloppy, and it has just from the offensive output. Only 11 turnovers apiece, and I say only. In high school girls basketball, that's not a bad number, especially when these teams have kind of pushed it at times.
I feel like there's been a lot of jump balls.
Yeah. Tessa Eide. Or check that, Peyton Hansen, rather. Izzy Eide down the lane, step through, too short. Rebound, Tessa Eide, held ball. Oh, they're going to say foul on Berkeley Zebart. We're going to shoot free throws.
That'll be her 2nd.
Foul was on number 14, Berkeley Zebart, her 2nd personal. A hold, reaching in there and grabbing her wrist when they're trying to grab the ball. Tessa Eide. Missed both those free throws. Down to 2 minutes to play, a 7-point game. Plenty of time. 3 on the way, too strong. That's last touch by Parkston.
Yeah, Parkston really needed to get a box out on that free throw to not give him the second chance.
Yeah. Boy, Coach Thornburg is certainly letting his team play through some of this. Hasn't used timeouts to set much up. There's a 3-point play opportunity. That took forever to fall down. Lydia Austin gets it to go with the left hand.
Knipling will have 3 now, so we got Oakley with 3, Knipling with 3, and Maxwell with 4 for Parkston. And then you've got Schoenfelder on the bench right now with 3.
And Lydia makes it a 4-point game. Last touch by Parkston, out of bounds.
The press has given Parkston about midway through this quarter. The press has really intensified and has given Parkston some troubles.
Izzy Eide went to the sidelines and she's like, run this play. Now she's out there directing traffic. Wonder who's going to be the last recipient of the ball here. Little elevator screen, long 3. Too strong. Zebart on the run out. Little hesitation, up and good. Berkeley with 26 and a full timeout. We're going to take one as well. Step away. We're back in 60. Minute 32 to play on SD PB Sports.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
Hey, buddy.
Good job.
41-35, Parkston by 6, 1:32 to play. Have to give you a shout, Lisa, from Paul Schmidt and Brett Workentine.
Yeah.
The old couple of Willow Lake boys.
Oh, some Willow Lake names, yes. Now that takes you back. You do the math and you're like, that can't be right.
No, they're old. So yeah, it's right. They're really old.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, no, they're really old.
I'm not old.
Nope, you're not, but they are. Izzy Eide down the lane, right side off the glass. The runner up and good. Tough shot, Eide, and a timeout, Centerville. We're going to keep it here. 20 on the game for Eide, so she now has hit her season average. 1:19 to play. And it's a 4-point game. So again, we've seen, you talked about it maybe a couple possessions ago, that press has given Parkston some trouble. They really got to amp it up right now.
Right, you know, and it's kind of surprised. Did Parkston take the timeout or Centerville?
Well, did they assess it to, yeah, I think Centerville did. They're down to 2 now. So
I think they took it, which kind of maybe gives Parkston a favor.
Let them set up.
Unless they're going to do something different.
Right, unless they're changing something. But even then, you want to make sure you got everybody, I suppose, in the right spot. You got to have a stop in the next couple possessions. You can't give up free throws, and you can't give up layups.
Well, and Centerville has a foul to give, too, and so that's something else to talk about.
They got to get after it right away, probably. Yeah, really, with 1:19, I'd say you're full denial, and the minute they touch it right now, you're fouling, not having to worry about it.
Right, and then you get to try to go again for a steal, and just making sure everyone's on the same page.
Everyone but Bree Austin, number 5, watch for them to maybe give up a quick one. She's probably going to be the floater or go on somebody that they're just not going to give the ball to coming in right away.
Right.
There's the denial. Well, they're going to play it out. Good job by Parkston. Set up the press breaker and run it perfect.
Yeah, that was great execution.
Yeah, they threw over the top of it.
And they were quick. They got someone in the middle and they were quick.
Knipling. Spin move, Oakley down the lane, in traffic, and a foul. Hold going to be called on, I believe, Tessa Eide. Nope, they're going to actually say it was on Izzy Eide. Izzy will pick up her second personal. Again, no big deal, you got to use the foul, but it was on a shot now, so that's the problem, you give up the free throws.
You know, Parkston 32 points in the paint, so a lot of that this second half on penetrating and trying to make things happen.
And I didn't take a look at what rebounds. Parkston up, yeah, they're winning the battle of the boards 39-30, so you can tell too. They've got 16 offensive rebounds, and that's a big stat with them scoring all those points in the paint.
And two big free throws for Kiera Oakley.
Under a minute to play. Got to believe Eide's going to get a look at a three. Maxwell gets a couple of screens set on her. Gonna have to let one fly. Hansen to the lane. Nope, they'll take the drive. Left it short. Last touch by Parkston out of bounds. Now you get a chance to try to score quickly out of the inbound. Down 2 possessions rather. 43-37. The lob into Hansen. Right back in. Eide stepped in, wanted to get that bounce back. Too strong for Austin. Rebound Oakley. Oakley going to be fouled by Eide. Izzy going to pick up her third personal. Had to use it.
Yep.
And Coach Tornberg says we better talk about it real quick. Going to draw something out. If she misses, you're going to go. Try to get a quick one up the sidelines, probably get a quick look at it. Otherwise, you got to inbound. And if you're Parkston, do you put a little pressure on? Or do you just back up and say, let's make sure we don't give up an easy one?
Yeah, you know, that's a tough call. And also just kind of thinking, you know, you obviously 2 possessions games got to be 2 threes.
Right.
You know, so do you try to take away the 3-point line, make them have to go to the basket, but not bail them out on a drive to the basket?
They got 1 timeout left. Both teams have 1. So again, you get a bucket, maybe you get a 2-point basket. If you're Centerville, you're probably using it right away. A 3, maybe you play it out, try to get a quick foul, but most likely you're going to use that timeout right away. You're down 2 possessions, you've got to get it back. But again, you got to get it 92 feet first or 94 feet first, and we'll see what happens.
And good job by Parkston of coming out that last time with the press and doing something a little bit different. Did a great job, I thought, of finally getting someone in the middle and getting the ball to that person.
And that's what they didn't do the few times that Centerville's given them trouble. They're trying to beat it around the outsides, and that's exactly what Centerville wanted them to do.
And Centerville's trying to force them to the outside.
Yeah. Parkston, your number 2 seed, looking to advance to tomorrow night's 2nd championship semifinal. It'll be Corsica Stickney and Ethan in our first one tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. Oakley makes it 3 possessions.
That's a big free throw.
30 seconds to play. Centerville can score quickly. Just again tonight, it has not come easy. Oakley again. She's 5 of 6 at the free throw line, I guess she is for the game. No pressure. Eide can bring it up. Attack, get the 2. You're going to have one anyway. Now they're going to get some pressure right away and a foul. 4 fouls on Eide. Good job by Izzy. Just put your hands on him, and the referee should know this is a fouling situation, right? I don't need to go hacking away.
I believe that's 5 for Izzy.
Did I miss one in there? I had it being her 4th, so it might be her 5th. Yeah, that'll be her 5th foul.
Well, maybe it's...
Yeah, it is. They're just calling it up there.
Say the stat, there we go. The stats finally
just
converted it over.
Yeah.
It was a little slow there. So I wasn't sure. I'm like, maybe they were quicker on that one than they have been, but I was thinking it was her 5th.
Yeah, and Eide had to foul. I mean, that's just a team player right there. Yeah. She's their best player and the leading scorer, but she had to foul in that situation to give her team a chance to win. Got it in the hands of someone besides Oakley, who hasn't missed much from the free throw line. Zebart, she's got 26 in the game. You don't want her at the free throw line. Maxwell, second one, got it. And that's about going to ice it. 17.3. It's a 7-point game. Hansen will launch it. Missed everything left. Blair Walsh did, I like to say. Wide left. And Parkston will advance with a 46-39 7-point win in a big second half for especially Berkeley Ziebart. But boy, you talked about it a little bit, Lisa. The team defense, they turned it up, they rebounded like crazy, and they shot the ball a little bit better.
Yeah, they shot the ball. They tried to find ways to score points that would give them some confidence, really attacking the lane.
We'll talk to Coach Knipling about that here as teams exchange handshakes. We'll hand it to him as he comes over. He's gonna check things out with his team real quick. He's pumped. They're going to the semifinals. There he is. Coach, congratulations. Nice win. Talk about that second half. You guys made some adjustments. It looked like you really wanted to get downhill and get to the basket.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what we talked about at halftime, was the idea that we had to be the aggressors. You got to get to the rim. We haven't been shooting very well lately, so that's where we make our bread and butter, and we did a good job with it. Hats off to Berkeley and Kiara. They did an awesome job of getting there.
Yeah, they played well offensively. Kiara just controlled the boards. You guys really battled on the boards. I think you had 18 offensive rebounds or something like that. I mean, that's how you win basketball games.
And we really thought that was the key to the game. We thought that we could go get a bunch. I'm really proud. I mean, Karis and Lexi and Kiara, even Berkeley. Berkeley had some huge old boards. We kind of made a couple adjustments, and we were really worried about their transition. So we were trying to drop 2 and send 3.
Yeah.
And by telling Berkeley, you have no transition responsibilities, go board, I think it's opened her up a little bit. So.
Yeah. Talk about Centerville real quick, too. Their press gave you a little trouble at times. You made a couple adjustments late, got somebody in the middle. You were able to get out and run, and that opened it up.
They're supposed to always be in the middle.
Right,
They just forgot.
always.
Oh, man. I was about ready to lose my mind there. No, they, once we actually ran what we practiced every day, it was fine. But, yeah, we lost our heads a little bit.
State semifinals tomorrow night. Feels pretty good.
Feels amazing. I'm so happy for these girls.
Yeah, you did a great job. Congratulations,
Thank
Coach.
you, Coach.
Appreciate
it. You bet.
You bet. Cole Knipling, the head coach of the Parkston Trojans. We'll take a break, come back, recap, get you set up for our 4th game of the day when we return here on SDPB Sports.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
And there you see the final, 46-39, Parkston over Centerville. You heard Coach Knipling. He was excited. All the winning coaches have been excited so far. He showed the most emotion of all. You could tell that was a big relief for a team that has just battled the last 3 to 4 weeks of the season. Defense wins championships, and again tonight, they hold Centerville, a team that can explode offensively, to 39 points.
Right, you know, and we talked about that a little bit, that both teams holding teams defensively in the 30s, so you knew that it was going to be a defensive battle, but I thought they made some really good halftime adjustments, came out and really attacked the basket.
There's some highlights. You see Izzy Eide, she really went to work in that third quarter to start things. That was kind of the adjustment you could tell Centerville made. And then you see Zebart inside. We saw Oakley get loose. A three from Knipling. That was a big shot. Kind of got him opened up and loosened up a little bit. And then the attack happens with Parkston on offense. And Zebart 3 times in a row, just down the lane, aggressively stepped through, off the glass and good. You've got some of the stats, the way things wrapped up. Shooting certainly improved that second half.
Yeah, you know, you look at Centerville, only shot 27% for the game, but 17% in the first half. And it's hard to overcome. And Parkston shot about 35% both halves. But I think what a big thing was Parkston won the boards 41-31. 10 big rebounds helps. 32 points in the paint, 14 second chance points. They just, you know, I thought both teams came out that second half and really tried to get downhill, go to the basket and make something happen and try to score some points in the paint.
Yeah, Parkston scored 17 in the first half and then went 15-14 in the third and the fourth. So again, it just, they got relaxed and were able to do what they wanted to do. We're gonna step away for a couple minutes, come back. I gotta find some paperwork or something here, and then we'll get you set up and ready for our next one. Take a breath, because we're gonna get up and down the floor. Harding County, Bennett County, coming up next on SDPB Sports.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple, it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. Committed to local success. Just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota. For South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
SDPB brings you the South Dakota Boys State Basketball Tournament. You can catch all the action Thursday, March 19th through Saturday, March 21st. For more information, including the multiple ways to watch the games live, go to sdpb.org/basketball. Complete coverage of the South Dakota Boys State Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Dakota Bank and SD Corn.
From First Bank and Trust Arena on the campus of South Dakota State University, I'm Brad DeBeer, alongside Lisa Vahi. State Girls Basketball Tournament action for 2026 here at First Bank and Trust Arena. And we take a look back real quick, just kind of recap earlier action today. We opened up the tournament with a big upset, number 8. I say big upset only in numbers. These teams are all so close. 65-56, Gorska Stickney with the win over Lyman. And then Ethan defeated Coleman Egan, the 4 over the 5, 51-42. As you saw, Parkston, a 46-39 win over Centerville to advance to tomorrow night's semifinal, championship semifinal round action. where they will take on the winner of this one, Bennett County and Harding County. Your 2025 defending state champion, Bennett County Lady Warriors. So we get ready for, again, to see that team. They burst on the scene last year. Lisa, you were calling the games, and everybody in the arena, I think, was just kind of in awe of what they did on the floor.
Yeah, just the amazing athleticism and style of play. Pretty aggressive defensively, up and down, kind of a track meet style game. Really have a lot of young players. You know, you look at their roster with a sophomore, freshman, 8th grader, 7th graders, just a lot of young players, and a few, you know, they have, I think, just one senior on that team also.
Yeah, and you take a look at that team, you know, the people that are in the track world knew of those young ladies, you know, obviously what they did there, but on the basketball floor, Coach Evans did such a great job with them last year, and they were able to get that state title. And with the state title, obviously, comes what? Pressure and a target. And you look at their season this year as they come in. Yeah, they lost some games. They didn't go the perfect, you know, season that everybody thought, oh, they were going to do. It's hard to do that. You're going to lose some games, but they battled and they got to where they needed to be.
Well, and you look at 2 of those games were in the first 4 games. They ended January 3rd. They're 2-2,
yeah.
Losing to 2 A schools that are both in the A basketball tournament. So, so some quality, you know, if you want to have quality losses,
right,
but against very competitive teams.
Yeah, here's another one of those games, though, where another one of our matchups has the lower seed with a better record at 22-1, Harding County taking on the 3 seed Bennett County, 20-3.
Yeah, Harding County has only lost to Corsica State.
Yeah, and that was early in the year too.
Yeah.
So take a look at Harding County, the Ranchers out of Buffalo County, or out of Harding County rather, in Buffalo, South Dakota. Jay Wayman, the head coach. 45 students, purple and Vegas gold on Wisconsin, the school song. How'd they get here? Well, they beat McLaughlin 86-22. They beat Timberlake 63-13, and a 43-point win in the Sodak 16 over Jones County 73-30. So really, you know, not challenged at all in the postseason. Macy, yeah, and we'll talk more about that as we go. Macy Went, 5'9" junior, will be 1 guard. Sophomore Camry Padden, the 5'9" sophomore. Rayleigh Hunsinger, excuse me, a 5'4" senior guard. Kaylee Padden, a 5'6" senior, and the Braden Padden, rather, the other starter. We'll take a look at Bennett County and those starters in just a moment. We'll actually take a break, throw it back and catch our breath, come back, get you set with what Bennett County looks like coming into this one, and then we'll get things tipped off here in the First Bank and Trust Arena. Do that when we return on SD PBC.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. From sunup to sundown, they're turning quarters into the dollars that drive our rural economy. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Arthur Edwards has been the royal photographer for 40 years, capturing some of the royal family's most iconic and controversial photos.
And of course, as she went to kiss him, she turned her head, and that was the picture.
An intimate portrait of the man behind the lens and his favorite moments.
It's Kiss, 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 kiss. Fabulous.
Arthur, a life with the royal family.
Tonight after basketball on SDPB.
As we continue warm-ups, just under a couple of minutes here to play. Bennett County going to head over to their bench and talk things over. Let's take a look at the Lady Warriors of Bennett County. Anna Martin, South Dakota. Shauna Evans, the head coach. They're defending state champs, 76, the enrollment, purple and gold. The colors on Wisconsin is the school song. 17-3 in the regular season, 20-3 overall. The win over Edgemont, the win over Kadoka area, and the 51-point win over Ipswich. So again, not a lot of challenge on that run for Bennett County either, as the officials make their way over here to get ready for our final game. Take a look at the starting lineups for Bennett County. Reagan O'Neill, the 5'10 sophomore. Harley Harris, 5'7 sophomore. Payson O'Neill, the 6-foot freshman. Maddie Wallen, a 5'6 junior guard. And Kaylee Byrne, a 5'10 senior, stepping into the starting lineup this year as well. So again, a couple of teams that I think obviously we know what Bennett County wants to do, right, Lisa? They want to get up and down the floor. They want to run, they want to push tempo, they want to press, they want to create chaos and get layups. Harding County, I think they have to be slowed down and under control a little bit. They're not going to be able to run with Bennett County.
Right, you know, both these teams, you look at Harding County, high games, 86 points. I think they average like 70-plus points on offense. Defense holding teams to 46, but then you look at Bennett County and they're wanting to get up and down the court too. So something probably has to give in this game, but I think it should be a very entertaining game and last one of the night.
We look forward to wrapping up first day here. We'll see who our second contestant will be in the championship semifinals. Here's Al Bahi with our public address.
Good evening, basketball fans. Welcome to Brookings and welcome inside First Bank and Trust Arena. The South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard welcome you to this quarterfinal round of the State Class B Girls High School Basketball Tournament. Our final quarterfinal matchup features the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Ranchers of Harding County High School, taking on the home team on the scoreboard, the Lady Warriors from Bennett County High School. This tournament is being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and benefit of our high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs, so we hope you will enjoy tonight's game and support these athletes in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. It's time now to meet our junior officials for tonight. The junior officials are sponsored by 605 Custom Design, Zip Trip C-Stores, Cubby Sports Barn Grill, and Swiftel Communications. Our junior official from Harding County is Dion Waman. Our junior official from Bennett County is Mikhail Muhlenberg. Let's meet the cheer squad from Bennett County High School and cheer coach Danielle McDonald. Bennett County cheerleaders are Cambry Clausen, Caitlin Fry, Nisha Marshall, Marias May, Kiki Moran, Onia Red Bear. It's time now to meet our starting lineups for each team. We will do this in alternating fashion. Starting at a guard for Harding County, a 5'9 junior, number 20, Macy Wendt. At a guard for Bennett County, a 5'10 sophomore, number 0, Reagan O'Neill. A guard for Harding County, a 5'9 sophomore, number 22, Camry Paddock. At guard for Bennett County, a 5'7" sophomore, number 2, Harley Harris. At guard for Harding County, a 5'4" senior, number 24, Rayleigh Hunsucker. At a guard for Bennett County, a 6-foot freshman, number 3, Payson O'Neill. At forward for Harding County, a 5'6" senior, number 30, Kayla Padden. At a guard for Bennett County, a 5'6" junior, number 5, Maddie Wan. At forward for Harding County, a 5'9" junior, number 44, Braden Padden. At center for Bennett County, a 5'10" senior, number 25, Kaylee Burns. Assistant coach for the Harding County Ranchers is Ray Ginsbaugh. Assistant coach for the Bennett County Lady Warriors is Joe Wan. Harding County Ranchers head coach, Jay Waman. Bennett County Lady Warriors head coach, Shauna Evans. Our officials for tonight's game, your referee is Brett Buck. Umpire, Jordan Munch. Umpire, Dan Forstrom. And the alternate is Doug Roosing. Rancher fans, are you ready? Lady Warrior fans, are you ready? Today's fan section is brought to you by the University of South Dakota.
O'Neill to tip it up, and Bennett County will save it. There goes one of our cameras, guys. It just got flipped sideways, so you're not going to be able to see anything out of that one on the floor. It's not tipped over. We're good. Levi, you might have to run out here and fix that. I just want to see you run, so come on out and fix that if you want. Taken away by Harding County, tipped, last touch by the Ranchers. Great hustle.
Lots of bodies on the floor in the first
10 seconds,
18 seconds.
Yeah. Well, again, that's what Harding County does. They're going to just play hard. They're going to work their tails off. They did it in volleyball this year. I watched them at the state volleyball tournament. Travel on the step through by number 2, Harley Harris. Harding County will bring it up. Little 3-2 zone action. Shot long, rebound Padden. Camry steps through, kick out to the top. Bobbled, saved, run down by Macy. Went down the lane to the free throw line. Kick out, Padden to the lane. Braden up too strong, and a foul going to be called underneath. They're going to be on Harris, or are they going to call that on Byrne? That is on Harley Harris. Harley will pick up her first personal. To the free throw line, Braden Padden, the 5'9" junior. First one up off the back iron and then finds the center. 1-1 our score.
1-0.
Did I say 1-1? 2-0, how about that?
There you go.
Come on, it's been a long day already. But it's gone fast, hasn't it? It's amazing to me how fast it's gone, actually. Spin move, O'Neill. Payson with the finish with the left hand. Went, has it tipped to the lane. The dish up, no good. Padden got to the center of the lane. Now the run out. O'Neill stepped in the end line as Reagan O'Neill threw that one out front to Payson. Payson caught it and landed on the end line. We could go through all of the family relations, but I think that people in the state have seen it. They know who's related out there.
They know. You might just feel like you're hearing the same name over and over again.
On both teams. Reagan O'Neill, that's what she loves to do. Run out, layup, up, and good.
And just kind of sit back in that zone and wait for you to
bait
you into one of those passes.
It's so hard to throw the cross-court pass. Unless you can see the eyes of Reagan O'Neill, you don't throw that cross-court on her.
Well, they just had such long limbs. and just such good leaping abilities.
Yeah, and Reagan is just so quick. Payson, the lob, the alley-oop.
From the sophomore O'Neal to the freshman O'Neal.
Payson lays it up and in off the glass on the left side. Jump stop Patton, down inside, missed layup by Kalen Patton, and then the run out the other way. Payson O'Neal, 8-2, Bennett County, timeout. Coach Wallen, he wants to talk things over. Or Coach Wahman, rather, he wants to talk it over a little bit. A lot of stuff just going on out there. 30-second timeout. There was a lot of action back and forth.
That was, and that's what we talked about. This is going to be a really up and down game. Even though they're kind of sitting in that half-court zone, they bait you into a lot of those things, and they get out and go quick.
Yeah, they turn it into a full-court game the minute they catch it at half-court. They've had one possession in the half-court, and that was a turnover to start the game, and they're up 8-2 right now. So it tells you what they're doing, obviously, on the defensive end to get themselves to get run-outs. Suppose I should change my stat program here and get the right stats, huh? Get the right game brought up anyway.
Yeah, so Harding County starts out 0-4, and Bennett County starts out 4-4.
Getting layups versus shots in the paint that are definitely defended. Patton, swing at the baseline. Cameron Patton, shot is good. Caden Patton, rather. Katie Patton. I'll get him right. Kaylin Patton. There's K's, there's B's. They're everywhere out there, the Pattons of Harding County.
Well, you think the K's might be sisters, but they're not. Well, two
are, I believe.
are, Kaylin and Katie. But if you remember the 30s are sisters.
Okay, that's a good way to remember it, yeah.
The 2, 22, and 44 are sisters.
Jumper on the way, too strong for Byrne. Battle for the rebound. Reagan O'Neal ties it up. Held ball. It'll be Harding County basketball. We're going the other direction. 5:02 to play in our opening quarter. We have a small student section for Harding County. It's a long ways. It's about as far as you can go across the state from Buffalo to Brookings. Patton, Camry on the wing. In the paint, no good. We'll go to our media timeout after Brett Buck calls the foul. Then we'll come back out for free throws. We go to the media timeout. We'll have free throws when we return. 8-5 our score. Bennett County up 3. We're back in a moment on SDPB Sports.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
And now we're back inside First Bank and Trust Arena, ready for free throws. As we go to the free throw line, Camry Patton, the 5'9" sophomore, 12.3 points a game, 5.7 rebounds. First one good for Patton. Second one on the way, got it. 4:47 now, 8-7 our score. So just when you thought Bennett County was running out right away, Harding County has answered with a couple of buckets. Turnover, Patton to the floor.
Good timeout by coach.
Foul on the drive, going to be called against number 10.
Just an 8th grader.
Chloe Loudon, her first personal. Yeah, you know, this team state champs a year ago, and I think one of the unsung heroes. We talk all about, obviously, Reagan and Payson. They're incredible athletes. But Porbera was their center last year, and she could take it off the rim and lead the break. That was one thing that stood out that I just thought was impressive, and I think they've maybe missed her a little bit. Even though they're 20-3, man, what she could have helped with this team.
Well, and just that inside presence. She was such a strong inside presence. You had to honor that.
On the drive, Patton. Foul called on number 10 again. Anytime you can penetrate that zone, get to the lane, it makes scoring opportunities a lot easier. Get the defense moving a little bit.
Find some seams, try to penetrate in between. They collapse very quick, but if you're strong with the ball, I think we might have a kind of a tendency to maybe foul pretty quickly.
Yeah. Get them on their heels a little and you got a shot. Patton missed that one long and throws it away. Reagan O'Neal fired up. Payson O'Neal tipped away. Camry Patton, what a save, but into the bleachers. And then saved right to Payson O'Neal. Camry Patton now, swing it left side. One of the coolest names in the tournament, Satin Wilson.
Yeah. You know, you look at the zone by Bennett County, they also have the two O'Neal girls, 6', 5'10" out front.
Yes.
Drop the guards down, but so that long length up front really helps.
Play that 3-2, kind of that matchup. And you got to have that backside, but when you have 5'10" and 6 foot to be able to put on the wings, that's a great luxury.
Yeah, they're one of the taller teams in the tournament, 6 foot and 3 at 5'10". Not the tallest, but one of the tallest.
Ball tipped away on O'Neal's pass attempt to the baseline.
Little miscue there.
A couple of turnovers back and forth between these two teams and just miscommunication. And I think Bennett County found it easy right away on those quick runouts, got a quick 8 points, and now Harding County's kind of amped up the defense, settled in a little bit.
Well, they've done a better job of getting back, too, and not allowing that.
Turnaround by Reagan O'Neal, no good. And this is where they're dangerous. They jump right into that full court. So hard to pass around their length, and then they just happen to have quick enough feet to move faster than anybody on the floor also.
It's like switching up a little bit man to man here. Or just rearranging their
rearranging,
zone.
I think you're right. I think
different arrangement in their zone.
Yeah, and then we see more of the matchup out of that 3-2 instead of the scramble out of that 3-2.
Right. And you dropped your length down low that time.
Travel call, Bennett County basketball. Payson O'Neal going to be fouled inside Carson Page, who just checked in. They bring Carson off the bench, 6 foot sophomore, adds a little height for them, some length. Picks up her first personal, though. Payson O'Neal will go to the free throw line. Payson will get 2 free throws, first one no good.
Payson's about a 60% free throw shooter, so your
Chance,
theory.
she's got to make this one then. Doesn't. She's got work ahead of her if she gets back to the line, I guess.
Yep.
Went will push ahead. I think she caught Payson O'Neal in the chops on the way by with her elbow. Not on purpose, but flying through, and Payson was rubbing her cheek a little bit like, okay, that hurt.
But pretty much unfazed.
Reagan misses, Payson misses the next touch. Thought it was blocked and touched by Harding County, but it wasn't. We Rancher basketball. That region final for Bennett County kind of interesting. They end up beating Kadoka 57-40, but their uncle is the head coach. So they get to play against their uncle in that one, and kind of interesting just to see all the connections out as you head west in this state.
That's right. Well, and then you bring in the fact that Parkston coach Joe Shepherdson is related to the O'Neills.
Yeah,
so.
he's a cousin also. So Reagan O'Neill, the long step, looked like triple jumper down there.
She might do. Is she our
she's
long
the long jumper.
Yeah, I think she's our long jumper.
Yeah, she hasn't dabbled in triple jump yet, thank goodness.
Not yet. She has the 100 and I think the 200. Gets involved in a relay.
Yeah, and then Payson does the hurdles.
I was reading an article about the family after the track season, and Dad had them all do hurdles because he felt like if you're not quite fast enough, hurdles would be the way to go. But then when he found out how fast they were, pulled them from the hurdles.
Right.
And
can try to do some other things.
Yes. Yeah. But using the talents of the girls, you can rack up a lot of points if you put one in hurdles.
Grandma Vera is the track coach, so they're coached by their aunt in volleyball, and Grandma is the assistant. So it's quite a connection out
connection,
there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing. Their Aunt Wendy, of course, was a star on this floor as well on the volleyball court. She said she's coming. I haven't seen her here yet, but I know her picture's out in one of the pictures out on the wall somewhere. So I told her she hadn't been back with all the new things. I said, you better get out there and find your picture. Harding County, Patton. You talk about all the relations there, then you go to the Harding County side and there's all kinds of relations as well. Off and running again. Bennett County push it out. 3 on the way, no good, short off the rim. That one fired up by number 5, Maddie Wong. Here comes Macy Went. Went now. Kick it right side. Page inside. Padden. Padden kick out. Saved by Went. Through the zone. Kick out. Camry Padden. 3 no good. Braden Padden with the rebound. And a foul on the rebound. I think that's going to be on number 5, Maddie Wallen. From behind it was. Wallen picks up her first. So it was on the shot, actually. I thought maybe it was on the rebound. It was actually on the shot attempt. Didn't allow her to go back up with that shot. And again, off the back iron and then finds the middle. 21.9 seconds to play in our opening quarter. 12-9 Bennett County. Make it 12-10 on the Braden Padden free throw. She's 4 for 4 at the line, got 4 points in the game. O'Neal fires one up the sidelines. Inside now. Caught by Heathershaw, then kicked out. Too strong, wide right by Maddie Wallen on the three-point attempt. It'll be Harding County basketball.
Yeah, we're only sitting at 12-10, but it feels like there's been a lot more baskets scored than that.
Down to 5, 4, 3. Backdoor cut, Padden, great move, and ends up getting free throws out of it. Camry Padden stepped right into Raven Heathershaw, who left her feet to try to come over and stop that. Raven will pick up her first personal. Camry Padden will go back to the free throw line. She is 2 for 2 at the stripe. And that one is no good off the right side. 1.3 to play in the quarter. Gonna be 12-10 as we get ready to close out half. Stays that way, rebound up, no good, no foul. We go to the end of our first quarter, 12-10. Bennett County by 2. We'll take a break. We're back with more on STPB Sport.
It's not just about making a living. It's about upholding a way of life. We are connected to this land, committed to the future. Bank West.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
From the Class B State Girls Basketball Tournament, we were talking about Reagan O'Neill being the long jumper, and we said, glad she doesn't triple jump. Well, she doesn't need to, since Harley Harris is the defending champion at 36'3 1/4. So that's the first cousin. They don't need both of them triple jumping, apparently.
Exactly.
Just go collect more points that way.
Yeah, that's a lot of points.
That's wild.
Yeah, we look at that first half, and Harding County just 1 of 9 from the field, but 7 of 10 from the free throw line. That's what's really kept them in this game.
Yeah. Foul called on number 22, Camry Padden. Padden picks up her first. Lob inside Reagan O'Neill. Yeah, that's an easy out-of-bounds play when you can throw it like that. She just goes above everybody to get it.
Yeah, the jumping ability is
incredible.
With those two.
Yeah, Reagan especially. I mean, she is a high flyer. Like, Payson's a little bit taller and longer anyway. She doesn't have to jump as high, but man, when you can just lob it on a stack like that and don't have to worry about anybody else picking it up. That looked like a travel, but we'll get away with it. Padden comes up with it on the rebound, throws it out, taken away by Reagan O'Neill. Reagan will push, lead it to too far, actually tried to throw it out to little sister, Payson. Okay, younger sister, Payson.
Yeah,
little sister's on the bench over here still. Jade's still sitting down here. She hasn't got her chance to come in yet in the basketball game.
Yeah, good look on that break, but just need to get a little more air underneath it. Give her a chance to pull that in.
Yeah, that, and you're still throwing it into two people. There's still two defenders behind her, but they're so used to being able to do that.
Well, they can just jump so high that it doesn't usually matter.
Went misses the three. Padden with the rebound. Leaves it underneath. Threw it just a touch too far. And then out of bounds. Kaylin Padden was right there, but couldn't haul it in. Now on the run, Harley Harris.
Both teams looking to kind of push the ball, force the ball inside a little bit. You know, your turnovers are 9-7 right now, just playing 1 quarter of basketball.
Well, and the way that, especially the way Bennett County wants to run, that's what's going to happen. Padden will miss the layup. Went is there to follow it up, though. Now Bennett County, that's gutsy. Harding County not afraid to come out and play some full court pressure.
Right.
Another takeaway. 2 straight takeaways, and then a foul going to be called on Harris. So Harley picks up her second personal.
And Bennett County got a little bit of trouble taking the ball out down here. She took it out right underneath the hoop. And she had a person long, but she couldn't make the pass.
Yeah. Always get off to the side or run. You can run after the make, so get going.
May or may not know about not doing that.
Yep.
Big
ripped
board.
out. Yeah, Kaylee Byrne, great rebound, then thrown away.
Kaylee Byrne, her mom played at Chadron State, so quite a few of the young ladies on the floor had parents that played, or at least mothers. I guess I don't know always about the fathers.
A little extra bounce here. You'll see a jump stop, 1-2. No, there's no. Now again, if she steps through and puts that foot down, now it's a travel.
Right.
Can't do that in high school. That's a college move. Didn't come down together, but she didn't put it down. She just stepped through and went right back up with it.
I think sometimes that's what's hard. They see some of those moves, but yet they're not able to do those at this level.
Well, I think that's something that, I mean, obviously coaches need to clarify it, but sometimes you need to visit with officials and say, okay, what is that exact rule? But that's what I've always been told, is that in high school you got to land on 2, then you can step. College, it's boom, boom, but then you can step. You can't jump, land on 2 in college and go, which it seems odd to me because it's not a travel, but.
Right.
You're right, there's just so many different levels that we watch of basketball now. And it changes, and then you get the summer ball that's a little bit different. And
well, you just have access to watch so much basketball.
all the time. Foul called on number 30, Kaylin Padden. That'll be her first personal. Line change again for Harding County. They're trying to stay fresh.
I feel like there's a lot of action, a lot of effort, just not a lot of points on the board yet.
Here comes Harding County on the run. Push ahead. Page to the lane. Up, no good. Inside rebound and a foul going to be called. Foul called on number 25, Kaylee Byrne. Byrne will pick up her first personal to the free throw line. Will go number 30, Kaylin Padden. Padden is 1 for 2 at the free throw line so far.
And that's what's really kept Harding County in the game.
A little strong that time.
7 of 11 from the free throw line.
Second one is good. 2 for 4, 50%. Just over 5 to play here in our second quarter. Down inside, up and good. Payson O'Neill, her first basket of the second quarter. She's got 10. It's 14-13 Bennett County. Padden now, crossover, kick out. There's a travel. She put it back down. We're going to go media timeout with 4:47 to play. 14-13. The Lady Warriors up 1. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
For your little ones and your biggest joys, or your forever friends and your fur kids too. For your better half or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
And we're back to action. 15-9 on the glass. Harding County with the 6 rebound advantage. That you wouldn't expect, maybe just looking at it as well, but you know, they bring good size, does Harding County. They're not small, they're not guard dominant. A couple of their girls that play guard are probably built more like a forward type position with the Padden girls.
Right. You know, and some of that also the fact that they're only shooting 13%, so some rebounds to be had.
Yeah, a lot more of them available. Foul going to be called on number 14, Satin Wilson. Satin picks up her first personal. At the free throw line, number 1, Raven Heathershaw. Makes good on the first.
I just got to say this one for all the middle school kids out there. She is a 67 three-point shooter.
That's so old. Shooter. That is so, Lisa, that's so last year.
I know, that's what they say too. Except I'm usually not the one saying it.
Yeah, now the adults are in it and they're all about, no, that's just dumb. We're not doing that anymore. On the run out, the takeaway by Bennett County. Reagan O'Neill has that one thrown behind her. Saved by Payson, back to Reagan. Baseline, Reagan spin move, travel, put the foot down, Picked up the right foot, put it down, then put the left foot down. You've watched these kids, the O'Neill girls for sure. You've watched them so long, you think, yeah, you know, they just make great decisions. And it's not that they're bad, but that's a sophomore and a freshman. I mean, they're still learning the game.
Right.
Good job of keeping her dribble, but a double dribble. Great pressure right here. That turnover was caused by number 24, Rayleigh Hunsucker. Stayed with it, chasing Maddie Wong as she tried to back away. Made her pick it up, double dribble.
Hunsucker on this team, I think they had 5 all-conference players last year. I don't know if their all-conference selections have come out yet this year.
Yeah, I have not heard on that end. That group will come out Monday, it sounds like. Camry Padden with the jumper. O'Neal picks it up. Finds Heathershaw, back to O'Neal. Reagan. Kind of a Euro step through there, then gets the foul called. She is their energy as well. She brings a lot of energy to this team. Foul called to number 22, Camry Padden. Camry picks up her second. That's a big foul here with 3.5 to play. She's got to be careful. You don't want her picking up a third personal. Camry averages 12.3 points a game, second leading, or tied with Went as the leading scorer, I guess.
Yeah, and we just, I think, just subbed out to make sure that she doesn't pick up that third one.
Reagan's got 4 points, 0 for 1 at the free throw line, make it 1 for 2.
Yeah, so they're just 1 for 4 from the free throw line.
Kick out left wing. Off the dribble is Macy Wahman. No good, too strong. Rebound. Reagan O'Neal rips it out, takes it down the left sideline. And a foul going to be called from behind on number 30, Kaylin Padden. Her second personal. We're going to have 2 shots. That's the 5th team foul. You got to figure everything out. Everybody that tried to sub in has to now come back out. Those that went out have to step on the floor. Which again, I kind of understand, but yet I'm like, really? Do we have to?
I know.
Can we just put them in? They're coming in after this one anyway. What's the difference? And I have not figured that one out yet, why we wait. And there's a reason. I just don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is either. And
I'm sure somebody will tell me now that I've asked. It's not going to be you, buddy. You're one of the clowns on my phone right now.
You know, if it's to prevent the delay, well, they come in, they have to wait for them to go out, and still is a delay.
No good on the second. 2-on-1. Reagan O'Neal close that gap, make it 2-on-2 real fast. Wahman up too strong. Long rebound. Wahman gets her own last touch. O'Neal taps it back out. Went just happened to be there for Harding County.
I'm not sure it's safe to sit in that front row over there.
Nah, a bunch of officials over there, they can take it. Good defense. Byrne stepped through, but then she traveled. Picked it up, must have hopped on that right foot just a little bit.
I couldn't see with the monitor in the way, but great defensive effort. Like you a little.
Kind of spun that foot, maybe that's what he's calling him. We got into it late there too, so. In the corner, Braylon Padden. Braden looking for somebody to bail her out, gets it to Went.
Well, she was trying to drive baseline, but the Hunsucker coming in from out of bounds popped right into the space that she was going to try to occupy.
Down the left sideline now is Wallen. Wallen will set the offense to Byrne. Byrne looking in, just about trips. They're going to say double dribble. They wanted double dribble, I should say, on the Harding County end. Not going to get it. Not going to get long ways away. They're not going to hear you from that far away.
Right.
You have to get acknowledgement. Foul called on number 20. Went. And now Coach Evans not going to use the timeout. She says, well, that worked out. We'll just save that. You didn't hear me. Another missed free throw. Payson 0 for 3 at the stripe.
Yeah, just 4 of 9. 3-point lead, could add that. Start pushing the double-digit lead if we could they could make some free throws.
And again, the old saying, just when you think little things don't count, remember the free throw you missed in the first half kind of thing. And
right. And it
if this game stays close.
And a lot of times we say it comes down to that one at the end of the game, and it does not.
No, so many chances before that. 3 on the way for Went, no good, back iron. Rebound, Page up and good. Carson Page, great putback. She's got her first basket, it's 18-17 with 1:45 to play.
This full court press isn't anything real flashy, but it has caused them some problems, slowed them down, and I think more times than not, they've just turned the ball over themselves.
Press a pressing team, right? I mean, they like to play fast, but sometimes not sure what we had. They're going to allow a sub here for something. I'm not sure what the problem was. We're good. Everybody gets a little break. We're back at it. Wahman gives off to Wendt. Wendt, skip it to Wahman. Thought about the three. Wahman now off the dribble. In traffic. Just about got that frustration foul.
Just about.
Byrne will throw it right side. Back up top, Wong. Heathershaw now looking inside for Payson O'Neal. Can't get it to her. Top of the key, Byrne. The free throw line, rather, turnaround, no good, too strong. Padden with the rebound. Harding County with the push now. Wahman left wing, got it! Macy Wahman with her first basket of the game. And Harding County leads 20-18. Is that the first lead for Harding County? I think it is.
That is, yes.
There's a push on the rebound. Yeah, Payson O'Neal was in perfect position for an offensive rebound and just got pushed right out of bounds by Macy Wahman.
And that is their first lead of this game.
Now, Payson O'Neal knocks down the free throw. Too strong on the second. Rebound Padden and a foul going to be called from behind on Heathershaw. Raven picks up her second personal. 36.5 seconds left, just the third team foul against Bennett County. So Harding County still going to have to bring it up. They thought they had free throws, but not to be. How are things looking in the
I was looking at
A's and double A's right now? Christian and Wagner tied in a good one, huh?
And it looks like O'Gorman 55, Mitchell 44.
That's a tight ball game.
Yeah.
Wilson will swing it around to Wahman. Wahman on the right wing. Wahman way out high. Wilson, skip pass. Three on the way. Got it! Rayleigh Hunsucker with her first three. Launch from Payson O'Neal off the rim, no good. And we're gonna go to halftime. Harding County 23, Bennett County 19. We'll take a break. We'll talk about that first half and more when we return on SDPB Sports.
You kept us fed through tough times. And despite rising business costs, you keep doing what you love because you know you're making a difference. No matter the challenges, we're here to help you navigate the highs and lows to grow your business, to improve your land, or to buy new equipment. We all rely on you, and we're just happy to return the favor. Go with Allies. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
And we're back inside First Bank and Trust Arena. And again, first half, there was a lot of up and down. We talked about it being a track meet. Track meets don't always score a lot of points, and that's what happened right there. Not a lot of points put up, but boy, a lot of action, Lisa, back and forth.
Yeah, you know, a lot up and down. I think one of the biggest things looking at that, Harding County 12 turnovers, Bennett County 16 turnovers, so 28 turnovers. A lot of action, a lot up and down, not a lot of production maybe in terms of points. But, you know, I think Harding County 12 second chance points to allowing only 1 second chance point for Bennett County. I thought that was a huge stat. And then Harding County 12 points off turnovers. Bennett County getting 14 points in the paint.
Yeah, you can cause 16 turnovers, but if you don't get anything out of it, does it really make that big of a difference? I mean, it takes possessions away, yes, but when you add points to that, wow, you find yourself in the lead at halftime.
Well, I think we saw there's a few times it was a turnover into a turnover, but when the teams have been able to score, it's been some pretty impressive scoring abilities.
As you find early in the game, Payson O'Neill, the recipient of a couple of runouts. There's Reagan O'Neill, the long stride to lay that one in. The other end, Carson Page, a good putback. Got the 3 ball to go there a little bit. Macy Wahman hit that one. They got another one just a little bit after that from Rayleigh Hunsucker. And again, they take the lead 23-19 at the half. Thanks to Heidi Jo Porch out in Kadoka, sent me a note. Satin Wilson from Harding County, and then Raven Heathershaw and Bella Heathershaw of Bennett County are cousins. Okay. So again, we talked about the connections, and they continue. This time they're on opposite teams playing against each other. So it is, again, that's why I love South Dakota, and that's why I love being a part of what we get to do here. The connections you find as you go through these, just incredible.
Oh yeah, it's just fun to sit and see how it's all so interweaved throughout that. You know, you're doing your opening slides with Harding County, and I had 45 students.
46, I think it was their number. 9 through 11, of course.
Right, 9 through 11, but then you look at how many kids are on the roster. I'm sitting there going, there's not a lot of kids left.
No, not many. And that's why you don't see a huge, I mean, there's 2 reasons. 1, a lot of them are on the team. 2, it's a long ways to go to get out here, but their student section, maybe a little bit smaller. Bennett County's similar. You forget, Bennett County's a long ways south.
Right.
When you get out west, and then you got to drop a long way south to get to Bennett County. So they have great fan support from parents and things, but a lot of the maybe high school kids aren't here. It's a long ways to go.
It's an
expensive weekend.
Right, and you know,
threat of snow on the weekend.
And then you look at who they've played too, and you'll see that they kind of dabble into the Nebraska and the North Dakota and play a few different teams that we don't hear about over here in eastern South Dakota.
We'll take a quick break, come back, get you set up and ready for our second half of play. We're going to find out who our final contender will be for a championship semifinal tomorrow night. Is it Harding County? Is it Bennett County? The Ranchers lead by 4. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
The 2026 South Dakota High School Activities Association Class B Girls Basketball State Tournament on SDPB Sports. Of course, online at sdpb.org as well. We thank you for having us on and being a part of it. SDPB's sports coverage continues next week with live coverage of the Boys Basketball Championships beginning Thursday, March 19th. Class AA tournament will air on SDPB1. Class B will be on SDPB2. We'll be up in Aberdeen, Wax Arena, and the Barnett Center. And then on SDPB3, it'll be the Class A. Of course, SDPB will be really working overtime out in Rapid City next week with AA and A basketball at the same time. You can also watch every game online, don't forget, at sdpb.org/basketball. Again, next weekend, the boys State B Championships, and that, Lisa, will wrap up the winter sports season. It's amazing. You guys have already started track practice at Brookings High School, you said. I know there are others that have as well. We start on Monday, and I just can't believe we're at that time of the year already. It's amazing how fast it went.
Yeah, and I say it every year, you know, we have these few nice days, and the weather's looking good, and then track starts.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Then we cool it off.
Then it cools off, and we get some more snow, and then we got to wait a little bit to go inside.
Well, I saw Robin the other day, so we have to have 3 more snows before it's officially over, right? Isn't that what they say? Something like that?
Something like that, yes.
So I'm going to count the one that we had last week because I saw Robin before that, so I'm counting that.
Well, there was another one.
So maybe we've only got one left. Good. I like the way you think.
It might be a big one, though.
Could possibly be. It sounds like coming in maybe Saturday, late Saturday into Sunday. But hey, we're rough, we're tough, we're from South Dakota. We know how to handle that, so we'll deal with it when it gets here. We're going to be here playing basketball anyway. We might just stay here. There's a giant sleepover. There's a big screen. Let's put a movie on and see what's going on. They got popcorn.
There could be a lot worse places to get
You got that
stuck.
right. You probably slept in this building a time or two back in the day.
We might have, maybe. It felt like it. Or we never left, maybe.
Right, you didn't shoot real well one night. Nancy said, get them on, girls. We're going to lace them up and practice one more time.
Oh, man, back then, you know, we just had one place for everybody to practice. So it was,
no.
You had to vie for your time.
Well, at least you had more hoops. Now you look around here, you forget. There's no baskets in here except our main floor anymore.
Yeah, that is true.
Harding County. Right wing 3 on the way, too strong. Rebound, Padden. Kalen Padden up, and the foul going to be called as Kalen will go to the free throw line. She'll get 2. Foul called on number 25, Kaylee Byrne. Byrne picks up her 2nd personal foul. And at the free throw line goes number 30, the 5'6" senior Kalen Padden. It's good on the first. Three for 6, stays at 50% at the free throw line. O'Neal Reagan, crossover to the lane. And foul going to be called. Foul's on number 30. Kalen Padden, her 3rd personal, so that's a big one to watch now. Intensity hasn't quite picked back up yet here in this first 30
kind of
seconds.
waiting. We started with a turnover and just hands everywhere.
3 on the way and good for Payson O'Neill. Payson's got 14. She averages 21.6 a game. She develops a 3-point shot. That's going to make her even that much better. Camry Patton.
Only a freshman. She's got time to do it.
That is a beautiful shot. Camry Patton, a little pull-up jumper from 16. The lost art that she just found. O'Neill protects on the left baseline. Knocked out of bounds. Kaylin Patton will go out. In will come Satin Wilson. And a timeout, Shauna Evans and Bennett County. 26-22. Just a 30-second timeout. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. As Coach Evans has her team surrounding her in a huddle. They were our hotel mates, if you will, right down the same hallway last year, Bennett County. So very first day when we get to Huron at the hotel, our girls are mingling with their girls and their coach, and became a kind of a cool deal. So got to know them a little bit last year at that tournament. It was kind of fun. Coach Evans she was just in heaven, you know, up and down the way they were playing. And then the night they won, she just couldn't stop smiling. I mean, it was just fun to watch.
Well, if she didn't have dress clothes on, you'd think she's probably just one of the players in the hotel.
Yeah.
Just in her second year as a head coach, and she did some middle school. I think she's kind of moved up with these guys a little bit, and played, was a 9th grader on the 2007 runner-up team for Bennett County.
The lob, and Payson O'Neill goes up, gets it, lands, and goes back up with it. 26-24, now back to 2. Harding County with the lead. Oh, there's a travel, shuffled those feet. Satin Wilson with the early start.
Just a little too, feet a little too quick.
And again, you see that all year long, and I'm not saying that officials overlook it, but it gets called much tighter in this setting than it does in a gym in somewhere South Dakota.
Right. Or in pickup ball.
Yeah, for sure. 3, long 3 on the way, too strong. Rebound, Patton. Braden gives up to Wilson. She'll send it across Camry Patton. Camry, that's a carry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, you can get away with that when you're all by yourself, but when you make that move and blow by somebody, automatic. They're gonna whistle that one every time. That's a good call.
Anytime the palm comes up, you know that's a carry.
When you can get 3 steps in between dribbles, something
That's
happens.
true. I think we got to travel on this end.
Starting out a little bit this half like we did the last half. Turnover, couple buckets, turnover.
Yeah, we talked a little bit off air. You know, this is probably one of the harder games. You've sat around all day, anxious, waiting to play, and just some of those emotions, just trying to get settled down and relax and play a good, solid game.
Well, this Bennett County team has a motor that doesn't quit, so I would have eventually bet they were bouncing off the walls. And if you're Harding County, knowing you got to match that energy, they were probably the same way all day.
Right.
Wide left, Blair Walsh that one. 26-24. Harding County going to apply a little full court pressure here again.
And
Kind of
press,
a 1-2-2.
not always trying to look to get a steal, but just trying to slow them down.
Yeah, and they're getting touches out of it.
Yep. Forcing some turnovers.
That whistle going to go against Braden Patton. Nope, they're going to call it actually on Satin Wilson. Satin will pick up her second. Carson Page comes back. Wahman comes back. Macy, that's just an 8th grader, by the way. Macy Wahman, number 23.
Yes.
I heard she lit it up against the Dupree Junior High this year. One of the big games of the year up north. That'd be Jay's daughter, I'm assuming.
I would assume too.
Here comes the inbound again. Watch the lob out of this stack. That foul was called on number 22, Pat. The lob back down inside to the inbounder, and the putback is good. Again, when you've got athletes that can do that, lob it up that high and hang long enough, you can make plays like that.
You can. You know, just watching the emotion on both of these teams, trying to get their teams riled up, and one team trying to pull away.
Missed free throw haunts again. Wahman will push, Went will grab and slow things down. A timeout going to be called. Coach Wahman wanted the timeout after it was caught down below. And the official said, no, I got the timeout before she caught it. We're going to take it up high here. So the different marks. We were talking about that Mike Ruth one a little while ago in that game before where he had to have given the timeout up here because that's where he actually put it at inbounds, because I was talking off air with Darren Lorenz up in Aberdeen, an official, and he said, remember now, if it was in the corner like you guys said, it should have been on the baseline. And I mean, I would never say Mike Ruth was wrong, but I said, well, he was wrong then.
Well,
I
was just kind of wondering
him.
Because if it was up here, it wasn't caught, it wouldn't have been a timeout because no one had possession. But
yeah, and down there, you got to take it on the baseline then. So I'm not exactly sure how it just ended up. They gave it to him right here regardless, but I think they did get the timeout, so I don't think it was that. It was just where they inbounded it at. But if it wasn't Mike, I wouldn't even be bringing it up, but it's Mike, so I just continually bring it up.
He was chuckling though.
Oh yeah, DVC Golden Whistle Award winner for 3 years running. We called him the Region 2B Coordinator of the Year this year. He's not an AD any longer. He's just a superintendent, so we still have to give him his props. 5:07. We'll get another media timeout here. This third quarter, this 3 minutes has seemed like a long 3 minutes.
It has.
Well, we got 5 fouls called in the first 3 minutes of this quarter, so that's one of the reasons. Under 5 to play now in the third. Push off, offensive. We're going the other way. Foul going to be called on Wahman, and then we're going to have a media timeout. We'll take the break. After the foul, we'll be Bennett County basketball when we return on SDPB Sports.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also powers South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
Good to go as we come back out of the timeout. Look out, ball right at us. Threw it out of bounds, turnover. It'll be Harding County basketball. Oh, all right, you don't have to draw me pictures. Gaikowski and Lorenz are answering me. Lorenz says Ruth did it right. It literally has to be within the three-point arc, not just at the three-point arc, but literally inside it. So I got you. You don't need to draw me pictures, Darren. I got you. .23. The whistle's going to go against Macy Wahman. So all of a sudden she's got 3.
Yeah, and Harding County's got 5 for the quarter.
Harley Harris, shot up and good. Harley spent a lot of time on the bench in this one with some foul trouble early. She's only got 2, so now she's back in. They've been able to kind of withstand stay in it to now let her get out there and go back at it. And the second one is up and good.
Yeah, 2 big free throws for Harley Harris. Hopefully can get him going from the free throw line. Typically just about a 40% shooter.
They've regained the lead for the first time in a while, 28-26. Padden to Went, three-pointer on the way, no. Off and running. Heather Shaw, the long baseball pass, look out. Good effort. Basin O'Neill dove out of bounds in the corner. I'm looking across the way. Her mom, Abby's got her face covered like, oh my, that was too close to the corner of those bleachers,
yes.
honey.
And Coach Evans really wanted him to just make the easy pass.
Yeah. And we talk about that a lot too. Sometimes you get going in a game and somebody makes just an outstanding pass. Once you do it, you think you have to do it every time. You know, you got to learn when to make that perfect pass. Otherwise, just make the easy one.
Right.
O'Neill, Reagan down the right side. Spin move, off the glass, no good. Foul. Reagan will go. Oh, they call travel. Thought there's going to be a foul. They'll call the spin move travel. Here we'll see a quick look at it. 1, 2. I don't know, picked it up, maybe put it back down. And I just caught the end of it, so I'm not sure if she did anything to start with. Foul going to be called on number 5. Maddie Wong. Wong picks up her second personal.
One thing you do see, though, is a lot of calls happening and not a lot of arguing. You know,
no.
They just, you know, yep.
Which I like. Just
they
play
may not
on.
agree with it. They just move on.
They're just playing on right now. That's really refreshing to see, honestly. Kaylin Padden out top against O'Neill. They are in straight man-to-man now as Bennett County. Switched it up from that 3-2 matchup that they played early on, that they play most of the time. Oh, another hold is going to be called on Maddie Wong. Wong will pick up her third personal. Missed it short. Looked like she traveled. Yeah, she got away with it, but maybe that's the result. Then you get the missed layup instead. Bodies everywhere. Look out. A little knee to knee there, maybe. Reagan O'Neill a little slow to get up.
Knee to knee or knee to thigh?
Yeah, she's back at it. Page catches it off balance. Got it to go and is fouled. Carson Page. And a foul will be called on number 5, Maddie Wong. Wong, all of a sudden, 4 personals on Wong. She picked up 3 straight. In a matter of what, about a minute?
Yeah.
Of clock time anyway.
Reminder, you still got Harris that has 3 for Bennett County.
Spin move, away we go. Little reverse pivot. And a foul at the other end.
Well, I was gonna say, I think she just picked up her 4th.
Yeah, Macy's gonna have to have a seat. The 8th grader picks up foul number 4. Back comes number 44, Braden Padden.
Just to wait for the free throws.
Yeah, we'll get 2. Kaylee Byrne at the free throw line, yet to score tonight. 2:41 to play, 28-28. First one on the way, too strong. No good for Byrne. Padden will go for Wommen. Out comes Wommen.
Bennett County just 7 of 16 from the free throw line today.
Second one, good. First points of the game for Kaylee Byrne. In the paint again, Page this time Gonna be fouled, doesn't finish, but she'll go back to the free throw line. Carson 0 for 1 at the free throw line, gonna get another chance with 2 this time.
And Byrne picks up her third.
First one is good. Second one up and good. Bennett County. Quickly the other way. Fouled is Reagan O'Neill. Page picks up her second personal. Reagan, first one on the way, good. Her first point of the second half with 2:14 to play in this long third quarter. First or second one short, no good. Payson O'Neill takes it away and has it tipped away and taken away by Harding County. Then taken back. It's an O'Neill sandwich. Here comes Harding County on the missed lay-in. And a two-hand push. 2 hands on the body by Kaylee Byrne. Her 4th personal. We should have counted fouls this quarter. I don't have that marked. I got it separated, but there has been a bunch. We've been in the double bonus for a long time.
And we still got almost 2 minutes in the third quarter to go, but this half, it looks like Harding County has 8 and Bennett County has 6 fouls.
Went makes good on the second. She's got 3 points in the game. Another turnover. Plenty of time. Get it across half court. In the paint, Went will kick it out. 3 on the way. Another big 3. Rayleigh Hunsucker in the corner. Makes it 34-30, Harding County. Harley Harris will bring it up. Swing it, Heather Shaw. Into Reagan O'Neill in traffic, up and good. That is a tough shot. 10 on the game for Reagan. I don't think anybody has double figures yet for Harding County. Payson O'Neill has 18 to lead everybody.
Reagan O'Neill has 9. That's the next. Then you got a bunch. You got 1, 2, 3.
In the paint, runner no good. Rebound O'Neill falls down travel. Again, you can fall if you stick, but she didn't.
7 different scorers for Harding County.
Wow. Reagan O'Neill holding on to her right hip a little bit there, like she landed. That may have. They're looking to see on the shot clock. All is good. It just came off the rim, so it stays at 35. Page down the lane, loses the handle, gets it back too strong. Rebound inside, blocked. They're going to say Payson O'Neill with the body. Brett Buck right away was motioning body foul. And on the backside on the shoulder, you can kind of see it.
Didn't think so until I saw the replay.
Yep. And even again, if you're a Bennett County fan, you still don't see it as clear as what the Harding County fans see that one. Satin misses the first.
Well, just a lot of physicality on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, points, open shots are not easy to come by in this game. Just constant.
Yeah, I don't think Bennett County has had any open shots since the first a couple layups of the game.
On the floor on the rebound, a foul going to be called on Macy Went. The hold on Payson O'Neill. We're still going to shoot 2, and Payson will go back to the free throw line. Pretty soon, coaches are going to talk to their players about, you need to back up a little. We got to get under control here because there's going to be people leaving this contest soon. Have a quick conversation. Now we're good. O'Neill good on the first. Brett Buck having a conversation with Coach Wahman there. That was the hold up. Went out top. 10 on the clock. Look to hold for a last shot. Not going to get it. Fire it out of bounds. Over the outstretched hands of Riley Hunsucker. The lob. O'Neill. No. Great idea. Lob it up, let her go up and get it, but just no chance to get a shot up in that moment.
Well, and just didn't have the body in the position to get a shot up.
No, we head to the final 8 minutes. 34-34. We're back with more on SDPB Sport.
At Muth Electric, we don't just power projects. We empower people. We invest in training, mentorship, and career development opportunities at every level. Because strong careers build strong communities. Your future is bright with Muth Electric. Muth Electric now hiring.
Since 1882, we've raised 5 generations of hardworking Americans on this land. Our great-great-grandfather believed in something simple: respect the land and it will provide. Anthem Oats, grown by us, shared with you.
And we enter our final 8 minutes, tied at 34. Bennett County and Harding County in a battle here. 44 turnovers combined with these two teams. 20 for Harding County, 24 for Bennett County. Again, a couple of teams that's the way they like to play. Not that they like to turn it over that much, but they like to muck it up on defense and make the other team turn it over. And that they've had it happen back and forth to each other here tonight. Harding County fans on their feet behind us to our right. Bennett County fans on across the way, still just kind of relaxed, hanging out. The winner to advance to take on Parkston. A foul going to be called. Underneath, the foul called on number 1, Raven Heathershaw, her 3rd personal. So we start the 4th quarter the way we left off the 3rd quarter. Fouls.
Yeah, both teams got players with 4. You got one of the Paddens.
Yeah.
Camry Padden and Wahman for Harding County, and Bennett County has Juan and Byrne, both with 4, both on the bench. Camry Padden is currently in the game.
17 personal fouls for each team. Kaylin makes both of those free throws. And a travel call. We'll go the other way. You don't want to throw that lazy pass back, do you? Turnover, Harley Harris gets it up to Reagan O'Neill. Reagan dumps it down inside. Great look as Payson finishes. Payson O'Neill always around the hoop, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. And Reagan O'Neill, I think, was going up to take the shot, saw her sister open underneath, and just decided to pass instead.
Yeah, I love watching Reagan play. Just athletic, but so unselfish. I mean,
Right.
she's done that numerous times tonight. Saw her on film a lot this year, and same way. This time she'll take the jumper at 14 feet and knock it down. She's got 12. Three on the way, got it, a little fadeaway three. Kaylin Patton. And then a violation stepping across the line. I think Kaylin Patton even kicked out a Shane Warwick leg willy on that one as she was falling out of bounds. That was the leg willy from Shane Warwick. I think he taught her that. She's been at the workouts, no doubt. Foul gonna be called on Payson O'Neill.
Just her second, so.
Yeah, that was a definite foul. I had the good fortune to play a City League in Madison with Shane Warwick when he was helping coach at Dakota State one year when I was in college. And he was on our team. He always, that was what we called the leg willy. The Shane Warwick leg willy. Patton at the free throw line, 38-38. Braden makes good. 5 points in the game now for Braden Patton. Turnover inside. Now the double team again. Good job by Camry Patton to keep her dribble and get out of that. Oh, went, traveled. She wanted to shoot it, and then she lost her balance. In comes Maddie Wong. Out will come Chloe Loudon. Good hustle. Kaylin Patton inside. Look out. That's close to throwing an elbow. Timeout. 30-second timeout. Coach Wahman. Again, you got to be so careful. As she tried to just get through that, you got to step with that, or they could call a violation for swinging. If you make contact, you got the personal out of it, but they deemed it just more of a step through.
Bennett County, I think, has got to be careful. They kind of left their guard in the back against that press again with no one in the middle, and just really dropping people, 3 people low, kind of baseline corner on both sides and someone around the hoop. If you can get the ball in the middle and attack that, you're going to have some maybe pretty easy buckets.
Problem is throwing over. I mean, it's not like they're throwing over 5'5" and 5'6". They're throwing over 5'10" and 6 foot and explosive jumpers at the same time. So again, just another, I mean, unbelievable advantage that you have if you're Coach Evans. I don't know if it's an advantage, but it's a luxury for sure to have that length at the top of your press. There's a good look, throw it out ahead. Wahman rather, fouled on the drive. Third foul of the quarter. Foul called on number 1, Heathershaw. Raven Heathershaw, now she has 4, right?
She picks up her 4th, yep. So we got 2 with 4 on the floor in Juan and Heathershaw.
Kaylin Patton in a travel as Patton made another bucket. Turnover gives it back to Harding County, up 3, chance to go up 5, maybe 6. Wahman, the drive, the left hand is good. Great crossover and attack by the 8th grader. She's got 5 points. It's 5:22 to play and 43-38. A quick foul at the other end. Be called on number 20, Macy Wendt, her 3rd personal. Back in comes Byrne, out comes Heathershaw. And the takeaway went, lost it, got it back, leaves it up and no good for Wallman, and a foul going to be called.
I believe Walton that is her 5th.
That's on Maddie?
I believe so.
It is. Foul called number 5, Maddie Walton. That'll be her 5th personal. To the free throw line goes number 23, Macy Wallman. No good on the first one off the left side of the rim. 43-38. Look at that. Bennett County with 4 team fouls. So Harding County going to shoot free throws the rest of the way out. Bennett County's got to get clean on defense real fast.
Well, they've got to get clean on offense too. We haven't been across the half-court line in a while.
Too strong rebound in the air, put back by Payson O'Neill. She's got 24.
And that's kind of how they need to attack that press. Just very relaxed, came down. Just thought they did a really good job.
Yeah, you got to get it in the hands of the right people. First off, get the attention of Mr. Brett Buck, and we do. We'll have the media timeout. Take a break, step away when we return. 4:53 to play. It's 44-40. Harding County over Bennett County on SDPB Sports.
Our Peterson Farm Seed Reps, real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm Seed Reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
And we're ready to go with our final 4:53. Of course, we've got 6 timeouts remaining between the two teams. Oh, they try the quick one inside. Great defense, Harley Harris. Stolen back by Braden Padden. Spin move, missed it. Saved by Camry Padden. Too strong off the hands. And then swatted down by Wallman. Tipped out of bounds by O'Neill, and a foul on Reagan. Wow.
I'm not sure how many change of hands that was.
You and the shot clock person right now are just sweating it. Not sure how many to count. Regardless, we get a foul. We're going to the free throw line. Wallman going to shoot him again, the 8th grader. 1 for 2 on her last trip. This one's up and got it. Wallman, we're ready. Second one on the way. And no good. Battle for the rebound, and O'Neill rips it away. Long lead pass. Payson O'Neill catches, gathers. Foul going to be called on Macy Wendt. Wendt will pick up foul number 4. So 3 players for Harding County with 4, 1 with 3, a couple with 2. Bennett County has 1 that's fouled out, 2 more with 4, 1 with 3, and 2 more with 2. So what are we at? 20 and 19 in personal fouls, 21 and 19. 45-41. Makes them both. Payson O'Neill knocked him down. Down the lane, Patton blocked by Payson O'Neill. Heathershaw will chase it down and look inside, have it taken away. Screen up top, tipped out of bounds. Just You count turnovers, and we've got what? 32 and 24 right now. How about deflections? How many deflections are there? Because there's another 25 to 30 of those.
There's a lot of those. I mean, you look at that one possession, we had probably 5 or 6 of them.
Crazy athleticism out there on the floor right now.
And two teams that like to score a lot of points are used, I think they're used to making some of those passes, and you're playing a little better competition, and those passes aren't there.
Ripped away. Coach Evans just can't get the timeout called. And a foul going to be called on Heather Shaw. That will be her 5th, I believe. If that's who they call it on. Nope, they call it on number 2, Harley Harris. So that'll be her 4th instead.
And so both teams looking, they've got 3 with 4. And we still got close to 4 minutes to play.
Yeah, we're running out of minutes here, so 3:41. Wahman. She's 3 for 5 in this quarter alone from the free throw line. That was the only time she shot free throws. Chance to go 4 for 6, and no, 3 for 6. Rebound O'Neal, 46-42 coming at us. Heather Shaw comes away with it. Leave it too strong, throws it out of bounds. Playing in a hurry.
Just gotta relax. I think I can hear Coach Frederick saying, pause for poise.
Yeah. Time to get under control. Look out, there's a body check from behind. Gonna be called on Reagan O'Neal. Reagan gonna pick up just her 2nd personal. She's still the one down on the floor, however.
She has taken a beating a few times.
Yeah. Gonna get a timeout as Reagan O'Neal will come out, limping a little bit. Got a little scrape on the knee. She's gonna tough it out. They're gonna take a full, we'll take a break as well. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
I can't imagine being anything other than a nurse. I'm also much more than a nurse. And working at Avera lets me find balance between the career that called me and a life that fulfills me.
Out of that timeout, 3:29 to play. 46-42, Harding County leading Bennett County. Reagan O'Neal came out limping a little bit. It's one of those things she's just gonna try to run off. You don't wanna sit around too long, it probably stiffens up on you, but Macy went at the free throw line, makes good on the first.
Might have to be the recipient of an ice bath or some ice bags at least.
We've got a lot of lakes and ponds that are open around the area. Just go jump in or walk in maybe. Went, makes good on the second. 48-42, biggest lead of the game for Harding County. Reagan O'Neal, 3 on the way, got it. Big shot for Reagan O'Neal.
Just played, that possession was much more poised,
Oh, yeah.
just relaxed. Didn't get in such a hurry that they were forcing the passing.
Foul on the inside, that's gonna be on Byrne, I think. That'll be her 5th. It is. Kaylee Byrne will foul out of the game. Into the free throw line will go young Macy Wahman. Wahman filling up the scorebook here with free throw attempts.
Bringing in 8th grader Addison Byrne.
For the first time.
Yeah.
I'm assuming little sister checking in for big sister.
5-10.
And Wahman makes good.
She looks a little taller than 5'10".
6 points in the quarter. Now 7 in the quarter for Wahman. 10 in the game for the 8th grader off the bench. Down the sideline, they'll break the pressure as Macy Clausen. O'Neal, 3 from the top, got it. Reagan's got 18. And it's 50-48, just that fast.
And her first 2 threes of the game.
Yeah, first 2 she looked at even.
Yeah. Just gonna will their way to hang on to this one.
Oh, good fake, Wahman. The runner, foul, no. Back to the free throw line again. Foul called on number 13, Addison Byrne, her first personal. This will be her 9th and 10th free throws of this quarter. First one got it. Can we have our second upset of the first round? Shout out to Florida. I got a few of my young ladies that played for the Dolphins this year, took vacations with their families after the year was over. I think Maddie, Neely, and Taya are watching in Florida tonight. Swing it, left baseline, no good. Rebound taken out of there. Patton got out of that trap somehow, and then taken away by Payson O'Neal. On the run, Payson against Wahman, offensive, we're going the other way. She didn't extend it, but man, there was some contact.
Okay, let's see a replay.
Yeah, I don't know if we had the replay. Did I miss that?
Yeah, did extend the forearm on it.
Wow, that was on the run.
It's an offensive foul, so there are no free throws.
Right.
I think they thought they were going to get some free throws.
Had a timeout. Full timeout, we're gonna keep it here. 52-48. Yeah, that was full speed. Here you're gonna see that play coming down the floor right at you. Oh, that's definitely offensive.
Yeah.
When you see it from that angle. Before I couldn't see the arm because the body was in the way.
You were recording the foul when they played the first one. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was a no-doubter on that. I know Bennett County wasn't happy, but if they saw the replay up top, they better agree with that, because
and that's the case where when we get to the point where they're athletic enough, just jump, stop, and shoot that.
Right, right.
You have the athletic ability to do that, and when they start figuring that out, they're going to be unstoppable.
And we said that last year. They win the state championship, and we were all like, just think when they learn how to play basketball. And I mean, they were nice players, but as they become great players, they're going to be really good.
They have all the athletic components, and it's just sometimes you got to remember they're still a sophomore and a freshman.
And that was a freshman making that attack.
Yes.
That's what I said earlier. We've seen them so much. That's a freshman making that move. That wasn't like it was a seasoned senior. A seasoned freshman is not the same as a seasoned senior, right?
But when they figured out to make that jump shot, stop and pop, they're going to be tough.
Quickly the other way. Probably not the shot you want if you're Harding County, but you take it because it went in. Macy went. And a turnover the other way. 54-48.
Again, just that lack of poise right now for Bennett County just needs to, when they've taken their time and brought the ball up, they've been very successful.
Quickly inside Patton, no good. Rebound, battle for last touch by Bennett County and Addison Byrne. In the 8th grader drawn into action here, thrown into action because of foul trouble. Kick out, Page in the paint, no. Rebound, O'Neal. Now, Bennett County will run. Reagan O'Neal, that's a good move.
That's what we're talking about. That's a sophomore versus a freshman.
Yeah, and just a patient move. Tipped away, Payson O'Neill back to Reagan. Layup up too strong. Look out. Fight for the rebound. It's going to be Harding County basketball on the held ball. No.
Bennett County.
Yeah, Bennett County. It was by the fourth quarter there. I didn't see it up on the big board.
Got to find it on the new screens.
They're going to go new shot clock, change of possession. So
if she could have made that basket, this place would have erupted.
Oh, it would have gone crazy. 54-50 right now.
It's just that quickly how things can change.
Taken away. Camry Patton will push ahead. Carson Page on the run, lob it. Too much of a hurry. Now if you're Harding County, you want to slow down a little bit. Coach Wildman's like, get back, or we'll take the layup, travel. Now that's one too, like she got so open, but she's hearing the coach like, I gotta throw it back. No, take that shot. Like you're already there, but got caught in no man's land. 54-50, just over a minute to play. Another great one here in our opening round. 3 on the way, pull up, no good. Rebound, Patton. And a foul. No, we're gonna have a held ball, go the other way. It'll be Harding County basketball as checking in was Olivia McMillan. A couple of these young ladies, Macy Clausen, who came in a little bit ago, Olivia McMillan, they were huge participants on that great volleyball team they had this fall. And we haven't seen them much on the basketball floor till late in this one. Foul on O'Neill, her third. Reagan will pick up her third, and it'll be free throws at the other end.
Fouls, free throws, and turnovers.
Yeah, Bennett County, 37 turnovers tonight. Harding County, 27, and they're up 5. Sometimes it's about survival, right?
24 of 38 from the free throw line.
Shoo. 38 free throws. Offensive rebound on the missed free throw. 2-possession game. Patton. They're gonna foul. They don't now. Well, now you do. 22 to play. 21 on the shot clock. It's one of those situations. You do it right away. You either got to do it right away, or now you've wasted half the shot clock.
Yeah, if you're going to make that decision, you got to foul right away so that you have that time on the offensive end.
And again, you're at the opposite end. It's a big court. It's hard to hear.
It is, and that's the one thing with the long bench. Both the teams are really far at each end.
And that's the one thing that we heard that it was going to be here, and I thought instantly, will they keep the long table, or do they shorten it up so it's more like high school? You don't. You get the benches are so far away from the opposite end. I don't think they'd have trouble hearing my voice, but mine's a little louder than Shauna.
And I don't know if they allow the coaches to come out and spar as.
I think they've still got the line right here, still that mark.
Unlike the college game, they
you still got the 28-foot mark or whatever. So yeah.
It's hard. It's a long ways down to have that conversation and call a timeout.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if I'm trying to call timeout, I'm at half court. They're gonna get I'm gonna get their attention.
Yeah, you almost have to be.
The first time, all they can do is warn me, but at least I get the clock stopped, and then I get the timeout, right?
Right.
They're gonna hear me.
I mean, it is nice. You got a lot of space here on the side, but.
Yeah. Foul on Harding County, and that's a good foul. You got a couple to give. Let them take a few dribbles. You're probably going to see the same thing one more time. I don't know. Maybe you don't do it now with 3 though, because then if you accidentally have a foul, you stop it and they get free throws. You're ahead. You don't need to put them at the free throw line. O'Neill 3, too strong, out of bounds. Low-scoring game going to favor Harding County in this matchup. Again, 57-50 is not low-scoring, but in the books of these two teams, it is, especially Bennett County. O'Neill with the foul. Reagan picks up her 4th. We will have, the way it looks to me, a new state champion in Class B girls basketball. Again, the pressure of coming in.
Yeah.
You're the 3 seed, so there's not the pressure of being the 1 seed, but you're the returning champ. You know, you've done everything you've really needed to do all season to give yourselves a chance to repeat. And Harding County comes in and just plays a whale of a ball game.
Right, you know, and it's always that old cliche, you know, getting to the top isn't the hard part. It's staying up there.
Yep, agree. O'Neal, spin move, jumper, no. Rebound taken out, and they'll lend it to the other end. 3 to go, dribble it out. Clausen tried to get out of the way, just ran into her. There wasn't much she could do. Harding County gonna get free throws to win this thing. And Harding County, my friends, is going on to the championship semifinals. Hunsucker will go to the free throw line.
Harding County girls are feeling a little bit of, probably a little bit of relief, a little bit of joy, realizing that they're gonna have their shot.
We are gonna have a couple of battles tomorrow again. That'll miss. We'll catch up with Coach Wahman here in just a minute. Jay Wahman will join us at the table after they shake hands. 58-50. Harding County. Call it an upset because of the seeds, but Harding County goes to 23-1 on the season. Coach Wahman will shake hands. His team will run to the other end, fill out the board, slap their sticker up. You'll watch his team do that and then hopefully remember to come talk to me. We'll watch that on camera. The excitement of moving on to the championship semifinal. There'll be nothing like it when you get to play in a packed house on that kind of a night. We'll turn it over and get the headset on. Coach, congratulations. Wow, you definitely had to work for that one.
They did. The girls worked extremely hard all night long.
I meant you personally.
Oh, yeah, I'm out of shape. I'm not in as good a shape as the girls, but it felt like I was running up and down the sidelines tonight.
Yeah, they look so good, though. I mean, just they did your game plan. They hung in there. The game got kind of ugly, just turnovers, but you made more free throws and more big plays late.
Yes, we did, and we did a really good job, especially the first half, keeping off the offensive glass. That was kind of our key. But, man, that team's relentless, and we're happy to stay, hold on for that W.
Then you come into this one, what do you talk about with your girls because of the athleticism that they bring?
Yeah, and we just knew it was going to be, a different athleticism we've never seen before, and how we handled that early was going to dictate how things went, because once they get those steals in transition, you're not catching them.
Yeah, for sure. Tomorrow night, you see Parkston. You got a chance to see them play earlier.
Yes.
There's not an easy game in this tournament, obviously. Fun to be a part of, though.
It is. I mean, 1 through 8. You know how it is. Last year, the 8 seed could have been the 1 seed. It just came down to 2 or 3 different possessions in each game. This tournament is unbelievably equal. It's going to be a fun night of basketball from the consolation games to the championship nights.
A championship semifinals. How's that feel?
Oh, I'm excited
Feels
about
good.
it. Feels
have
really good.
Fun, my man.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Appreciate it.
You bet. Jay Wahman, the head coach of Harding County, and he's all smiles. He's out of breath, but he's going to still jog back in there and talk to his kids about that victory. Take a break. Come back. We'll recap, and then we'll have some highlights and stats. Get you set up for tomorrow. We'll do that in just a moment on SDPB Sports.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
And we're back, catching our breath from that up and down affair, and we'll talk some of the stats as we look at these second half highlights at the same time. And you'll see we're showing you all the positive on the highlights,
right.
But the stats actually show a lot of negatives. And I think when you start to hear some of these, you're going to see why the score ended like it did.
Well, you got Harding County coming in, 46 field goals attempted and 45 free throws attempted. But then you look at Bennett County, 37 turnovers. They only had 37 attempts from the field and only got to the free throw line 23 times. But total for the game, 64 turnovers between the two teams. And you look at the fouls called, 50 fouls called in that game. You know, up and down, you got two teams that are used to running and gunning, two teams that'll full court press you for different reasons. It just was kind of an ugly game at times.
Yeah, I mean, you just look coming down to 36-33 in rebounds. When you talk about, there wasn't, I mean, you look at the stats, 45% Bennett County shoots, you're like, oh, well, they shot 45%. But when you give up that many free throws and you give up that many possessions, that percentage doesn't mean diddly, really, when you take it in the end.
Well, and you still, they made 27 of 45 from the free throw line, so
Right.
It could have been a lot wider margin than what it was.
Just insane. Just what a game. Unbelievable. Harding County scored 28 points off of those turnovers, too, as you said. It's just nuts.
Well, and then you had that end of the game where Bennett County was trying to kind of come back in it, and they got a quick basket, a quick three, and then they turned around and stole it, but then they turned it right back over.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have turned around really quickly.
Yeah, that happened numerous times throughout
Right.
the game, too. Let's step away real quick one last time, then we come back and recap today's first day, get you set up for tomorrow's action here on a Friday in Brookings. We'll wrap up this Thursday night in just a moment on SDPB Sports.
You're committed to building relationships, to exceeding expectations, to serving your community. Your financial partner should share your vision and your values. For 130 years, we've stood by South Dakotans. We've been there, we'll be there. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West, member FDIC.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
Our Peterson Farm seed reps, real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm seed reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed. We're that kind of seed company.
From inside what is now a quiet First Bank and Trust Arena. It didn't take long to clear this place out, but I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Elisa Bahi. As you take a look at our bracket from this morning, it was, or earlier tonight, I should say. Now we'll go back to the morning. You got Corsica Stickney over Lyman, 65-56. So our 8 beats our 1 to open up the day. And then we had a good one in that second game. Low scoring, but Ethan able to hold on to get the victory in game 2, 51-42. Followed by our first game tonight where Parkston got the 7-point victory, 46-39. And then the one you just saw, 58-50. Harding County over Bennett County. Sets up tomorrow's consolation round action at 11 a.m. Again, we'll take the air at 11. It'll be Lyman, the number 1 seed, taking on the 5 seed Coleman Egan, and then the 7 seed Centerville versus number 3 Bennett County. Tomorrow night's full bracket there you see. Corsica Stickney moving on after that win earlier today. They'll take on Ethan in our first championship semifinal, and Parkston will take on Harding County at 6:45 in our second. The place to be rocking tomorrow night, there is no doubt about it. Championship semifinal Friday night at any state tournament in South Dakota is electric atmosphere. It's just hard to beat that type of excitement, and I think this place is going to be jam-packed tomorrow night.
Yeah, you know, Friday, the second day, teams have got their jitters out. You know, we talked about this early on, that this is anybody's tournament, and I think we've seen that with the play today.
As we kind of roll out here, a great little highlight package put together by our guys in the back. Levi, thank you very much for this. You see Corsica Stickney in their win. Hayden Johnson was just magic today for Corsica Stickney.
She was just involved in about every play.
Jolie Flatten was big for Coleman Egan, just didn't have enough though. As you see Marissa Storm come in and hit some big shots for Ethan. Coleman Egan would not go away, but in the end, Tasia Hawkins kind of took over a little bit, attacking the basket. Centerville in their game earlier tonight, you had Izzy Eide before she fouled out of the game, making some acrobatic shots. Tessa Eide, same way. Full court defense. Looked like Centerville was going to make a run and get away from Parkston, but the Trojans took over. They were able to get downhill, get to the basket. Coach talked about that was their game plan.
Yeah, you know, they made those adjustments at halftime and came out, and both teams, I thought, executed much better in the second half.
There's some highlights from that last one that you just saw.
Lots of highlights.
Bennett County falling to Harding County. Big plays late. Harding County made a lot of free throws. The 8th grader stepped up, had 10 opportunities. I think she was 7 of 10 from the free throw line late. And that's what the difference is in the game, 58-50. That does it for us here at First Bank and Trust Arena. For Lisa Bahi, for the guys and the crew in the back, we will see you again tomorrow right here, 11 a.m. in Brookings on SDPB Sports. I'm Brad DeBeer. Have a great night, everybody.